Bum, 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 bum. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Oh, what an exciting weekend it's been too. We've all been eating chocolate. Well, I haven't actually. No, I haven't had any chocolate at all. Haven't even eaten a hot cross bun. No. As diets for you. I suppose I'm losing a bit of weight, so it can't be bad. Well, British ministers, they're bottling it, they are. They're bottling it. There's a full-scale retreat over that Brexit bill. Yeah. And Jacob Rees-Mogg is not happy. No. But it doesn't really matter, does it? No. Considering he may be losing his seat. Oh, dear. Well.
I think he's rather uplifting.
Oh, maybe. Maybe I'll turn that volume down as well. There you go. And now it just, you really, God, dogs, eh? I just started streaming. And now he wants me to go and open the door for him. I shut the door because it's cold. So I put the heater on, you see. Now you walk outside now, do you? Can't wait about 2 seconds. 1 second. 2 seconds. Oh, I do apologise. Anyway, who we got here at the moment? And today I want to talk about a few things I want to talk about. One is obviously the fact that Jacob Rees-Mogg might be losing a seat, but so may about 1,000 other seats might get lost as well. And Douglas Ross has decided it's a really good idea for you all to vote Labour instead of the Conservatives. Tactical voting and all that, yeah. Oh, Mad Monk 33, I'm sure you're happy to hear about that. Oh my God, it's all happening in the SNP. They're confiscated. A motorhome. About 110 grand's worth. I know those things flipping cost. Well. And Ginger's drafts. The dogs are the real masters. You're not wrong there. They own us. And they walk us. Somebody needs to, mind. They are lovely, I must say. I've got to remember, that one's going to that one. That one goes to that one. I've got all these different, there's a trackball there. I've got a trackball there. And I've got a trackball over here. Oh, that's mouse. But yeah, it's all kind of all required to do what I'm doing. Anything that goes over there, it's disorientating now. Because what's happened is, I've got my 2 screens, I can show you. Yeah. I just moved my little screen, and this is my drawing pad. I just moved that there, you see. So, but the thing is, it's linked to that one. And when you come off the end of that screen, it goes to that one. So it's disorientating. Never mind. Say the V. Okay. I'll carry on then. So what to see what's there though? We've got Vincent Brennan, Mad Monk 33, Reagan Ali. Hi, my friend. I'm very sorry. I absolutely just forgot. I'm all over the place. If anybody knows, Reagan Ali and Lee Corn has their own show. It's called The Snowflake Show. It's for the snowflakes. Yeah, they talk about stuff. A bit like me, really. But they do some nice stuff as well. So I'm just all negative. I just look at all the horrible side of stuff. I tried to. Then I put my own little twist and taste to it. So yeah, they have a show on Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. and it's called The Snowflake Show. So I'll maybe Mad Monk can leave a link if he remembers where it is for their show. Yeah, it's really quite good actually, and they're really coming along brilliantly. They are more organised than I am, I'll tell you. As you can probably tell, I'm all over the place. I just wing it most of the time. I just have all this stuff around me, as you can see. I've got pages up all over the place at the moment, and I've got to try and piece them together in my head. My head don't work that well. No. That's probably why I'm such a mess. Ask the missus, she knows. Yeah. Anyway, next weekend, Caroline's going to join me again for another live stream, and we're probably going to be talking about renewable energy. Because it's all happening over here in France. So that's for next week, that is. Yeah, it's quite interesting, actually. I didn't realise that Caroline's been looking into it, and it's the way they've actually the Macron plan thing regarding forcing, car parking spaces and what have you here to have the covered parking with the solar panels on the roof. It's brilliant. Keeps your cars cool and it produces electricity. It's a no-brainer. Well, they're basically being told you're going to have to do it if you've got car parking spaces. Over 80 car parking spaces. Every car park that has over 80 spaces will have to have some kind of, I don't know what percentage it is, we'll find out. But, but it's partly going to have to be covered up with solar panels. Which is brilliant because it keeps your cars cool as well at the same time. And when you have doggies, they're happy too. That they are. Oh, yeah, what's we got? Oh, God, I'm getting all disorientated. Can't help it, So, what we sorry. Ding, 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 ding. Do vengeance. I hope you're happy. Don't be such an actually do Be more of a snowflake. I'm a bit of a snowflake. I have to admit, the more I do this game, the more woke I become with my own little twist of anti-Brexiter. Can you be woke and not be socially aware and caring towards those who put that cross in the wrong box? Can you? I don't know. Maybe. I don't feel that kind of, how to put it, sympathetic towards them. No, when they're stuck in traffic. I do feel sympathetic to those who didn't put the cross in the wrong box, because quite frankly, everyone is suffering from that vote. And they still are, and they're going to be suffering for that for a very long time. There is no making Brexit work. You know how I feel about that. If you're a regular here, oh, we've got 50 odd people here already. Oh, that's most kind. I do like to have people. Yeah, I don't know why you're here. I haven't worked that one out yet. But ayo, c'est la vie. Although my videos have done well the last couple of days, I must say. Well, okay for me anyway. Can't compare it to other channels, mind, but compared to mine, it's done quite well. And there you go. Hello there. Hope you're well. Oh, you got a new Prime Minister, Vertigo. And Chris Murphy. Oh, Siberian hamsters. Well, Siberian hamsters, they're the little tiny ones, aren't they? Little tiny hamsters, and they get wet tail quite easily. We know that because we had several of them. Although we had one, that's called Dave. And that hamster seemed to last forever until it finally died. Yeah. And it was a strange hamster. What it used to do, it gets in its cage, right? It would do that. A monkey bar across the top of the cage, drop it down in the end, run up the outside again, do the whole thing again. It's just, I think it's lost its mind. Probably because it's in a cage. Poor little blighter. Oh. And Jimenez, I can't say that. I'm very sorry. Colin Majek. Your studio looks like Pink Floyd recorded there. Well, have I got any Pink Floyd? I've got a Pink Floyd record. Oh, there we go. Up top there. I'll better show you. Boom. If I twist that round. There you go. Up top. In the middle. Yeah, Pink Floyd. There you are. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? It's a bit of a den, I suppose. It's my cave. It's my woke cave. That's what it is. Yeah. Got to have a woke cave. Everyone needs a woke cave. Yeah. I'm socially aware for all those people who are nice. That's it. That's how I'm going to put it. Yeah. All the others, you know what they can do? They can go swivel. So, stick here. Hello there, my friend. I hope you're well. The Snowflake Show is an excellent Wednesday at 9 p.m. And also they go over to the Discord server afterwards. And and they're generally nice people. Sorry, I said it. You blushing, Reagan? No, they are. They're a decent bunch. And I've met Lee. He's visited me here in France. Lee has. Lee Corn. Tories don't get tasered. Oh, don't they? I wish they would. Unlike the Republicans, who happen to, I know you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Who happen to raid old Capitol Hill under the what's that? Yeah, they followed Captain Trump. Yeah. Captain Trump. Well, he didn't go in. He said he was going to go in with him, didn't he, to Capitol Hill. Then he decided, I'm bugger this. I'm going home. I'm going to watch it on the big screen, he said. Well, I can get a Big Mac or something, or Burger King. I don't know what he eats. He likes burgers. Yeah, anyway. So it's probably actually the kiddies' meal, because a lot of them, because it's tiny hands. You can't get them, probably. Or they're getting small, a bit like the wagon wheel. So, yeah, that guy, he went in there, didn't he? All suited and booted he was. Yeah, like MP5s and machine guns and a grenade launcher and a hand grenade and whatever else they carry. Yeah, it was a matter of course to take the kids to school these days in the United States. Yeah, well, yeah, the taser. Tasered his balls by accident. Sorry, but he died. He had a heart attack. He picked it, apparently. Look it up if you don't believe me. Anyway, I have to be. That was kind of like funny, but somebody dies. Oh well. Shouldn't have been there. Never carry a taser down there. That's a really stupid idea. Or a gun. No, you either shoot them or tase them. Not a great idea. Not a great idea. Asperger's Europe. Hello there. Do. I'm scrolling up. Hello, Ruth. I hope you're well. Thanks for your little bit of advice last week. I get your point. I do. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know I'm not. I just can't help it. That's just who I am, I suppose. Annoying. Tedious. That's it. Some people call them tedious. Actually, somebody left a comment today. He says, I normally give YouTubers a chance, he says, but goodbye. Yes. Okay, never mind. Do you know what? I've got to this point in my life where I don't, I love you all, but you are faceless, a lot of you today, aren't you? I don't know you. A few of you I've seen, obviously. But, you can't build up a bit of a relationship with the chat and what have you and that as well. And obviously the comments in the videos and stuff. But I don't actually know anybody, really. No. So if I upset a few, I suppose that's what I'm going to have to do to get my message across. I don't mind upsetting the Anderson, or any of his ilk, or all those who kind of follow him, including the Anderson's latest, recruit. I would say recruit. Well, he's been grooming, hasn't he? Yeah, he's been grooming. Little Tories. Oh, crikey. Let's try to find it now. But, oh, yeah, is it that one? That one, I think. Yeah.
Hey up, I'm Lee Anderson, Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party, Member of Parliament for Ashfield and Eastwood in Nottinghamshire. But today is all about Super Sam. Sam standing for election in this ward. You need to get behind us, Sam.
I'm standing in Dollybank and Mallinsley to unseat the council leader, Councillor Sean Davis, who's been in power for 7 years. They continue to fail to accept responsibility for the council's failings over child sex exploitation. And I want a change in Telford. So now is the time to use your vote. Vote Sean Davis out, vote Samantha Smith.
I should be in charge of the Tory party campaign. For the run up to the next general election. I could do that for them. I can make their videos. Oh, I'm burning my ankles. Let me just turn that. That's it. It's better. Yeah. My ankles. Yeah, that's what I ought to do. That's what I need to do. I need to be their media geezer. He makes, production. What would you call somebody who do all that? Anyway, I make all their videos for them. I could also do the promotional work for the Labour Party, maybe. Produce food posters. Actually, I don't know where I stand on those posters, actually. In some ways, I think, you're kind of like... You're stooping low. You know the poster, like the one that was in that video. I just showed you. Where Richie Sunak's been accused of not wanting to...
you have accepted the truth.
Oh, cheers, Alice. You super chatted. Thank you very much. Can't air it, though. Where Keir Starmer's, or the Labour's, like Keir Starmer probably even seen it, I won't be a bit surprised. Or he glanced, yeah, that's good. And brushed it off. Won't really realise what it is. A bit like Jerry Corbyn, when he's, liking these posters and stuff, and then putting flowers on certain graves. I don't want to get into that, though, really. But it's just, doesn't want to lock up child offenders, child sex offenders. Well, he has been, the Tory party has been in charge of, they've been in the government for the last 13 odd years. They have to accept some responsibility. Actually, quite a lot of responsibility, considering they got rid of a considerable amount of the police force. And also created such a divide into society with Brexit and, literally since they ever got in, really, it got worse and worse and worse ever since, really. It was bad enough before. And society has taken a massive plummet. People aren't happy anymore. There's more angry people. Actually, there's a lot more people turning to drink as well, alcohol. In fact, I've done the opposite. And no, that's not urine. No, I did not collect that from Dover. Yeah, off the A20. In a sort of wide neck plastic bottles. No, I didn't. That's actually, it's Release, which is, licorice. I got all healthy, you see. I'm not eating meat at the moment either. Well, it was put in front of me later, but I'm not buying any meat. That's basically what we're not doing. So, kind of gone sort of semi-vegetarian, sort of. Not really vegetarian, because my intent isn't to be vegetarian. But anyway, that's the story. So, yeah, it's, and there are serious posters that are going to be going out, and I think they're going to stick to their guns with it, to be honest. Is it a good thing? Have they handed votes to, or sort of handed the plate, back to the Tories, say it's okay now to do all this? Or will Tories look at this and think, hang on, it's not really having any weight anymore, because, tit for tat. It is very much like, playground tactics, a bit like, how do you deal with a bully in school? Now, I've been in a situation before myself, and I was a bit of a scrapper at school, I'll be actually honest with you. I wasn't a bully or anything like that, but if somebody come off, tried to bully me, I'll retaliate. I'll protect myself. And there's been times when I've done that and I've got the upper hand, and we're friends afterwards. It's pretty bizarre, really. I put one lad, I pushed up against, it's only, it was, I had enough, basically. Over a period of time, this twit, it's in school, would come up to me. I just did to try and, face up to me every single day. And I just got too much into it. I just blew. And I grabbed his arm, put it behind his back, and just snapped his arm off, and then pushed him into the Georgian wide glass door. Actually broke the window. Didn't smash it because it's Georgian wire. It's got wires in it. You see, you must remember that glass, all the crisscrossy, wires inside the glass, and it broke the glass, but didn't actually fall to bits. Anyway, Dad got a letter. And it says you got, basically, you got to pay for the glass and stuff like that in the store to get it repaired. And Dad says, no, I'm not going to. Give my Dad's fair dues, I'm not going to. Why is there bullying going on in the school? Because, I told my Dad the story that's been going on, and I just blew it. Why is this, and it was going on all the time. Because I wasn't very big. I'm up to tall now, only 5'7" now. At the time, I was tiny. I was tiny. I was nearly as small as Donald Trump's hands or Richie Sunak's trousers. Either. I was quite small. And I've grown in both directions, a little bit. So, anyway, it's just... and then there's other cases, other times. If anyone knows Thorpe St Andrews School, if anyone from Norwich... Oh my God, Norwich. GB News was there the other day with Nigel Farage. That was so embarrassing for me. Is that what we're about now in Norwich? Norwich is broken. If that's what it's about. One second, there's no Wally wants to go outside. Wants to go through the door. You'll go through the door, boy. Probably. Oh, that's because I've got the door shut, man. I'm just trying to warm up in there. It's a bit chilly. So yeah, it was just there's these two tennis courts. I don't know what's like now, but there's the north side and the south side of the school. And when the bell goes, you have to travel, from one side to the other of the school, and you have to walk through this narrow path. We weren't allowed to go across the field to get told off. You have to walk across the field. So you have to walk, I don't know, say, it's probably about 4 foot wide, this path between these tennis courts. And needless to say, it was a bottleneck. Everyone's moving from north to south or south to north all at the same time through this bottleneck, and we quite frankly, we just end up in a bit of a squish. Yeah. And when you ram so many people into one tiny space, usually the same people, it becomes a bit of like a turf war. So we're like scrapping down there all the time. Oh my God, I'm Benji, one of the smallest people in there, constantly getting picked on. So you had to get tough. And is it what's happened with these posters? Is it the Labour Party, their attempt to get tough, maybe? I don't know. Is it foolish? Probably, you tell me. I think it's a little bit foolish, to be honest. But I understand. I don't really 100% know where I stand on it, if that makes any sense. I think, in some ways, yeah, go for it. And that's something. About time we stood up against the Tories, then I think some of these tactics are just stooping a bit low again, aren't we? Stooping low against the Tories and try to countering what they are about. But I don't think we could ever stoop that low. I mean, you consider all the stuff that these Tories have been throwing in the faces of Labour, Jeremy Corbyn, for instance, the other week, he asked for it to be withdrawn, but obviously the Tories don't, do they? I can't remember exactly what you said, but anyway, Corbyn responded about him living in what's that, siding rent-free or something in Rishi Sunak's head. So Rishi Sunak's doing it all the time. Just bullying, really, at the dispatch box. That's what they're doing. Just a form of bullying. And, Corbyn sits there on the back benches, what have you. Maybe not anymore, but on the back benches, what have you. And he's been deselected, hasn't he? But, yeah, and it's just not fair because he can't really defend himself. So he tried to, and obviously nothing happens. Nothing happens. And for all of Corbyn's ills, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a fan of Corbyn. I said this before, I'm not a fan of Corbyn. But I do accept that he's been used by the Tories, and now I feel he's been a bit used by Keir Starmer, to be honest. So he's a convenient scapegoat, just like what they've done to Tony Blair. I know there's a lot of hate towards Tony Blair, and I get it because obviously invasion of Iraq and what have you didn't turn out too well, did it? Weapons of mass destruction and that. But we should accept and be honest with ourselves. At the end of the day, about 430 odd MPs across the House voted to invade Iraq. It makes them all complicit. Otherwise, it's not democracy. So is it just democracy whenever it's convenient? Now we're looking for the scapegoat, Tony Blair, because he was the Prime Minister. So you could argue then that Rishi Sunak is also to blame then, if you're going to use that ideology, so to speak, regarding the fact that child sex offenders aren't getting locked up. So he is complicit. He is responsible, and it's at the end of the day, he's the one who's supposed to take responsibility. And if you had a company and you had people sitting on that company, let me just check this chat, make sure I haven't lost my sound or anything stupid like that. Come back. Where's that gone? Oh, there it is. I'm just checking, making sure no one said, "Oh, you got no sound." So yeah, if you think of a limited company, for instance, or even a public limited company, or any company that had a board of members, and you have a chair, and that person at the end is ultimately responsible, the head of the table. So that person is supposed, which in this case would be Rishi Sunak. So it is his fault. He has to take responsibility, not just for his government, but previous. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. So all those nasty posters nasty crap that's been spouted by the likes of Boris Johnson. Yeah, obviously you heard it regarding how he tried to criticise Keir Starmer in regards to Jimmy Savile and what have you. Without even glancing at people on the front bench such as Sola Braverman, who got off a sex offender, who then died in the end, the sex offender did. But she got him off. He's the head of this cult, which she's still a member of. A Baptist cult. A Buddhist cult, sorry. A Buddhist cult. And it's not looking at them, are they? Not her, sorry, not looking at her, no. It just seems to me, there's just so many own goals, it's so easy goals that could be thrown at the Tories. But they don't seem to use them. Instead, there's so many other attacks they could have made. But they went for that one. Don't know, we'll see how it pans out. Doesn't really matter now, does it? Because Douglas Ross has said, vote Labour. Pretty much. Oh, God's sake. How do you feel about that, Mad Monk? Anyway, let's check the chat. I'm going to check the chat. It's over here. Let's get comfortable. I've got my little heater there, my feet. Oh, yeah. I've got my... Oh. I've got my Yoda slippers on to keep my toots warm. Yeah. So what we got? Right. Hello, dear. Hello, Lady Bars. Good evening, all. I hope everyone is having a brilliant week. And so far, I hope you are too, my friend. And the police have been instructed to concentrate their limited resources on property crime because that's the easiest to convict in court. Really? They've got a point, though. They might get the conviction numbers up, don't they? Just not in the areas where we need to get not the hard crimes, There's property crimes. Don't be wrong, that can be quite distressing for lots of people if you're at the receiving end of it. That's pretty blooming awful, isn't it? But there again. If, for instance, that girl that I showed you in that video with Lee Anderson, the one that gave her a squeaky voice, now she was apparently she's a victim of, because she's gone the wrong way. Don't get me wrong, she's definitely gone the wrong way, but she's a victim of rape, and the bloke didn't get convicted. So her bitterness towards, obviously, the situation and what happened to her has pushed her in the wrong direction. What I don't understand is, why do people seem to go in the direction of those who are the ones that hurt them? Because the Tories have been known for ages. And yet, like in the 2019 general election, and considering what the Tories have done to the British people, cut public services, austerity, what have you, and yet they ran towards them in the 2019 general election just because, I just want the Brexit! That's what it was, yeah. It's just madness. Complete and utter madness. Plenty of that going about, I must say. You couldn't pass a war thing without... Oh, sorry. You couldn't pass a war thing without going to the House and voting. A war thing. Couldn't pass the war thing without going to the House and voting. They all voted for it. What the war thing? I don't know. Sorry, mate. I don't understand, Chris. But honestly, that first past the post system was more about people seizing power than it ever was about the democratic principles. Yeah. And Verity Cougar talking about democracy regarding Finland. He educated me a little bit on it, yeah. Can't remember it all, but he did. Just Brethren, hello there. Labour are Tory. Well, I won't go as far as that. I would say they're moved to the centre. Yeah. Whereas before they're kind of like right, left of centre, sort of thing, to left. Well, actually, the Corbyn was a little bit further than that, wasn't it? But you know what they say, don't you? If you go too far to the right, and then you go too far to the left, eventually you shake hands. Yeah. I got an error. Right, so his treatment is an offence to democracy. If you're talking about Jeremy Corbyn, I'd happen to agree. I don't agree with being deselected. And I just saw a super chat. I forgot how to stick here. Oh, cheers, my friend. I got a thumbs up. Scrolling down. I don't want to get too far back. Douglas Ross knows that the Tories are finished in Scotland. Yep. And I'm hoping that Labour take over the running of Hollywood. Douglas Ross's point he was saying earlier, what I was watching on the old Goggle Box, was that he didn't want Scotland to leave the Union. So I suppose he knows they're devastated. He knows they're buggers. And looking at things, what I've been reading today, preparing for this show, oh my God, aren't they just completely and utterly screwed? Good. Very good. Haha. It is poo already. What? Everything the Tories touches to poo. It's everywhere anyway, isn't it? And quite frankly, I'm quite glad that Lee Anson's been doing his bit on the canals. Just demonstrating the situation, the shit that we're in.
Hey up, just a little holiday video on the canal boat. That's one of my boys up there, one of my children. He's 31 years old, by the way. Let me show you the view. Beautiful. Look at that.
Lovely.
On this, I think it's called an aqueduct, Ponticilic aqueduct. Come here, son number 2. Just film down there, look. Look at that. That's a sheer drop.
Water companies are allowed to discharge untreated sewage into our rivers.
Am I dreaming?
Oh dear, yes. Lee Anderson's been posting his holiday. I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to promote the great British holiday? Jake Rees-Mogg normally tries to promote Portugal, it seems, because the E-gates. Yeah. But he could be losing his seat as well. That's what's been said. isn't it? Which obviously I'm quite happy about. Oh, just before we carry on, double check. A swan with tide marks along the side. Oh, could you imagine that? Poor swans. Oh. Quite dangerous as well, didn't it? 'Cause some of them things got little strings attached and stuff floating about. Tie their legs are knots. And also they're finding these microplastics, little bits of plastic, and also like plastic beads. This is strange. Little tiny plastic beads they're finding in the seabed and in the riverbeds, which is a bit of a problem. It's not meant to be there, you see. No, and it's entering our food, and apparently making us fat. Seriously, that's the latest one. Oh, okay. I think I mentioned it last week. It's just like the vaccine. According to a French customer to a boulangerie, boulangerie. She said that the vaccine makes you a bad driver. There's no stranger than folk, and they're everywhere. Even here in France. Well, there's Jacob Rees-Mogg. Oh, ain't he lovely? He's the pinnacle of the modern man. Yeah, everybody looks up, they aspire to be Jacob Rees-Mogg with his big hammer and his barrel. No? So what Jacob Rees-Mogg aspired to? Well, it could be cheap shoes, maybe. But as a kid.
And with you can make, and if you've got money, you can buy things that you want. I could buy this Rolls Royce, something like that. Lovely.
What, you back? Well, so it's common knowledge that Jacob Rees-Mogg is a devout Christian. Yeah, no abortions. No, not Jacob Rees-Mogg. No, sounds like a Republican. However, his observation of the Easter weekend has been disrupted slightly. I have actually wrote a script for this as well, but that's for a video. Yeah, it's been disrupted by a new set of polling data, and he may need his own personal resurrection, his own little Easter. Yeah, when the next general election comes around. Yeah, so well. I would just love this to happen. I really would. But he'll be fine. He's on GB News. Yeah, I don't know. He's getting paid. The Anderson's getting paid £100,000 a year. Yeah. Oh dear. See, that's because figures from the UK polling report have Jacob Rees-Mogg down to lose his seat in the North East of Somerset. Although the margins are rather fine, a swing of almost 30 points in the court of public opinion has been recorded in his constituency. The data will certainly come as a bit of a shock to that wheel and pencil doff cap Borlock. What is that, Walkham Penny Farth and that one? And indeed, other political observers, it's understood that a Labour candidate would record more than 38% of the vote if the polls were open this weekend. Whereas Jacob Rees-Mogg would only get around 34%. Oh well. Never mind. You know what he's going to have to do, don't you? He's going to have to buy all his kids.
I want British people to have cheaper food, clothing and footwear the day we leave the European Union.
Yeah. Don't worry. They're not. 19% food inflation just about. Well, just shy of. Apparently it's going to get worse, which is quite scary. Obviously, I worry about my children. So Labour is on course to displace Jacob Rees-Mogg. Oh, how many times can I say that? I am in glee. For the North East Somerset. So Liberal Democrats also have a horse in this race. Giddy up. And they have a strong support in the region and are forecast to take 20% of the vote in the North East Somerset as things stand. However, these numbers are certain to fluctuate. Obviously, it's not 2024. Things might change. Richie Sunak might pull out a blinder. You don't know. He might. I just wish they didn't start investigating him, not Nicola Sturgeon. Quite frankly, she's small fry in comparison to what he's been taking. COVID loans? COVID loans, anyone? Oh, I know, I'll just hand them over to my wife. No wonder he doesn't want to investigate COVID loan fraud. I wonder. He'd be investigating himself. Oh, dear me. That's just unbelievable. These people, they get away with, well, fraud. Corruption. Just like that other geezer. Oh dear. He forgot his name now. The one who got caught on camera the other week. He's sorry. No one forgot his name because he's a bit kind of. He's a pointless MP, really, isn't he? He was out there standing in front of William Hill. Promoting William Hill post-pandemic. And then we find out he's trying to, secret cameras and all that. I can't remember his name. Maybe you can remember his name. What happened to the cheap clothes and food? There isn't any. Everything's more expensive. Oh, I know. It's the war in Ukraine. It's COVID. But to be fair, actually, the cost of food has gone up here as well, considerably. But we've got no shortages. We did for a bit have a bit shortages of eggs, for instance, but other than that, we've got no shortages. So the food's getting to us. It's just not getting much further. And now it's going to get even worse for the United Kingdom. That is. When these checks start coming in, the end of this year. I haven't even built the infrastructure yet. Actually, I built the infrastructure. Some of the infrastructure has been built. It's just sitting there dormant. Such in, what was it, in Portsmouth? About 25 million they spent on some infrastructure they put in. A high-tech building, all digitised and stuff. And then they got told, no, that's all right, we don't need it now. So obviously the council's not too happy because they're having to pay for it still. And they're still even paying for it, even just sitting there. It costs money because security and stuff. So that isn't great. No. But that's all right, we just shove a few little, what look like container ships there, those hotel barges, which are pretty much designed for the use of people working on oil rigs and stuff. When they're building the oil rigs or offshore construction. But no, they're going to shove loads of people in there. People have been fleeing tyranny and war and what have you. Yeah, well, I know, we'll shove them in little containers. Because that's what they pretty much are. And they're all going to have as much space as you do in or on a car parking space. Can you imagine? I feel war. Well, there'll be an outbreak of war and disease. People are going to get ill. And there's going to be gangs and stuff like that. Because they're not going to be on there for 28 days like they said. They're off to Rwanda. No. There's not enough places in Rwanda with this deal. So they've got backlog of around 170,000 asylum seekers. That's quite considerable, isn't it? But don't worry. We can empty all the hotels as long as we get about 430 of these ships to shove them all on. Disgraceful. You know what? I've done a couple of videos like this week, and neither of them did very well because no one really wanted to talk about it. I think it's embarrassing. And also shameful. And also a lot of people don't really, Oh, a lot of people, okay, I'm okay, Jack, because I'm here in France. But we have our fair share of migration, you see. We've taken in more than you have in the United Kingdom here in France. So, yeah. That should be an equal responsibility. But it's not. It's not. Let's cause the problems and not take responsibility for them. That's what we do. Good at that, Yeah. Just look at Afghanistan. Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, where was I? Is that one over there? There's that one over there. I'm checking the chat, just in case you wonder what I'm doing. Right, okay. I need another screen is what I need. Just for the chat screen. A touch screen would be brilliant as well if I could do that. There, we're back on. Oh, hello, Zephyr. I hope you're well, my friend. I don't even notice, but I've been doing some videos outside. It's been sunny. Oh, do you know what? It brings back wonderful memories, it does. The last time it was sunny. And it was been a beautiful, beautiful day. So I bought videos outside for a change. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making more videos outside because it's that time of year. Because I've been a bit trapped in the house, really, in some ways. Because it's freezing flipping cold. And I've been wanting to do my workshop ones as well. And it's too flipping cold. It's been alright now, though. And then my workshop's completely out of mess, so I've got to tidy it up. Yeah. But I've got a whole load of bird boxes to build. As you probably know, we're planting trees here in France, but, you know, we'll put there's a GoFundMe link down below. If you want, buy a tree, we'll put a tree in the ground on your behalf, blah, 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 blah. You know the drill. I'll also make a little sign to go with the tree. But anyway, so, I've got so much to do. There's so much to do. But hey-ho, it's all fun. And I do like making things out of wood, I must say. I bet some English would have moved to Rwanda. You might have a point there, Jasper. The only thing is, where these places are situated, I don't know if you look, but they're actually quite isolated. You're as good as trapped, really. Because you don't necessarily want to be walking that distance in the heat in what is rather arid land. Yeah. And they get eaten by a lion or something like that. Well, and then you got that genocide, you know. So the Rwandan government, they say there's for them it's actually quite convenient because they need people. They desperately need people after that genocide. Was it not? I can't remember, what was it 92, 1992, 93, or something around that sort of time? It's the Rwanda genocide. If anyone's seen that film, it's a film called Rwanda Hotel. I know we're not talking about the hotels in the UK. And it's an eye-opener. It's a really good film. Really good film. It's very sad. Very sad as well. But these things go on around the world, and now missiles have been, what have you, in Israel. It's just anyway, missiles killing people again. It's just it's so sad. It's wish we could all get on. You know, I blame them, don't you? Crazy mad people, but also religion. Who follow crazy mad people who follow religion to the letter, or they make it up to suit them. Just like in Iran, you know, they're getting tougher on the poor women in Iran. They say they're going to the letter of their law in a relationship. Obviously, in that case, it'd be religion again, but without empathy. They say no compassion. You know what they do over there? That's just torture them. Horrible. Horrible. Now, I've been listening to Natasha Devon on the LBC radio. She's been talking about slavery, and I have to admit, I do find the subject quite interesting at times, just because we've got one hell of a past, and we are partly responsible, including France as well. All the countries that are colonists, are responsible. But talk about reparation by the king. Take all his money, that's what I say. Yeah, by the king and what have you. But other rich buggers. Well, that would include the likes of that MP, Richard Drax. What other ones? You tell me in the chat, Who else is the son or daughter of a slaver? Are they a slaver family? Richard Drax has inherited sugar plantations. He's still got them. He's still profiting. Yeah. No wonder there's a Tate Lyle or whatever it is, Tate Lyle. Yeah, so all that you say back, doesn't it? That's what I reckon. Conspiracy theory, I know, but some of it's fact. Which renders it not a conspiracy. Yeah, that's a bit more my Wrigley's. Yeah, I promise you, it's not urine, and if it was urine, I should be drinking a darn sight more water. Yes. But the fact that I have not had anything to drink for weeks, actually months now. I'll tell you, I did have a glass of wine when the family came over, when Darren came over. So, one glass of wine, and that was about 3 weeks ago. So I'm a born old fart, now. Yeah. But I have to admit, the alcohol just makes me drowsy, if anything. It makes me less astute. Not astute, less something. Yeah. I can't get any worse than I am at the moment, can I? No, probably not. So anyway, what's going on there? Hello, Ben. Ben Ridding says, Boggles would love to go back to that time. What time? Oh, well, no, okay. What, cheap shoes for peasants?
But the structural the Brexit Freedoms Bill. The Brexit Freedoms Bill is a fantastic piece of legislation, defining constitutional piece of legislation that will remove the dead hand of EU laws from our statute book finally. There are over 2,400 EU laws that will be amended or repealed.
They will do blue screens, won't they, these Tories? It's not too bright, is it? When there's people like me about it, have a bit of fun. In fact, one of my blue screen ones ended up on the television. Yeah, that was when they were doing the in the paper as well, was it? I can't remember what paper it was now. Of course, it was Daily Mail or Daily Express, one of them, along with a few others who were doing blue screen, the Tory conference, do all sorts of things. But it was fun. I have to admit, I do love doing things like that. I'm a bit of a mixed tag, because you know what I'm like. I can't help myself. But like, I've been picking on Lee Anderson a little bit recently. Not in malice. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm back over here. They're back over there. Oh, thumb away in again. Oh. I would love to come over there. It has always fascinated me. Canada, especially the northern lands. And I'm not sure, but I think I've got family over there. Well, my son, my daughter-in-law, his father lives in Canada. And my son's been over a couple of times now as well. So it's apparently it's very nice. And my eldest son sent over pictures, as he does, of this beautiful green lake with beautiful woodland and stuff behind them. And this nice shiny picture. Looked to me, it looked like he blue screened it. I really didn't go. But apparently he did. Met up with father-in-law. Yeah. Not my father, his father-in-law. 1960. Time machine. The original one's brilliant. I actually don't mind the later ones. Well, I can't remember the actor now. Oh my god, my brain. I think I've got short-term memory loss. First signs of dementia. That's what I've got. Cheers, Alistair. The time clock's a little bit out now, I must say, because it's like another year since this. Yeah, so it's probably 47 years now, something like that. God, Jacob Rees-Mogg. That man. The thing is, now I've had this I had this conversation with my wife before about lying, and I've mentioned it on air before. You've always got to remember your lies. The problem is, if you lie all the time, you're never going to remember them all. The best thing to do is just don't lie. But the Tories are doing it all the time. There's people like me and others online. We have a catalogue of these lies, and we kind of, we can put it back out. We can put them on Twitter. We can make a note of them. They're always all over Twitter anyway. It's just, don't do it. Just be honest. Wouldn't it be so much easier if you could actually trust your politicians? If what comes out of their mouths, they actually mean it. How novel would that be? Be amazing. It's not going to happen though, you know that, don't you? It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So yeah, sad as it is though, that's where we are. Man, all the dogs left me. They ain't come back. I bet they're gone. They're gone through there. And Caroline's probably huddled up on the sofa with the fire on, the pellet burners going on in there, and she's keeping warm. I bet she is. But she put the pellet burner on. I won't be surprised. I don't blame her, to be fair, because it's a bit chilly. Although the daytimes are absolutely lovely, the evenings have been a bit cold because clear skies. Clear skies. The only thing is, what about all those chemtrails? What are they going to? What are they supposed to do to you? I don't even know. Apart from pollution. Well, we could get married, Ben. What? Is this a proposal? Hello, Renata, Bernardine. Just popped in. Happy Easter and hello from Norwich. Oh my God, Norwich! My hometown, my home city. Yeah, Norwich. Oh, dick. I can tell you some stories about that. My first car was a Morris Minor. It was a Morris Minor van. It was ex-GPO. And before the Castle Mall was built, I used to whiz around there. I do remember it was cobbled down one side before the mall was built. And you get the what was it? Those leaders at one point, Zach's at one point. There's a burger, like a burger van, and it was big old. It had like seats inside. And it's like a big it's what do you call them? A bit like a static caravan type thing. Anyway, that was all done up as a burger van. And they had the best burgers. I mean, amazing. Oh, beef and horseradish sauce, absolutely fantastic it was. I miss it. I've never had the burgers as good as that since. Never. No, unfortunately. Anyway, I had meat for ages. Oh, a burger. Anyway, let's never get out of my head. Quick. Well, yeah, there we were. I was only just passed my test about 6 months. And I had this Morris Minor van for which I'd sprayed up bright pink. It had Colonel Bergie horns on it and had all strobe lights underneath as well. These are flashy lights everywhere. That was a hilarious thing. And it was a bit of a rust box when I got it. And I cut I did a lot of welding to it and all sorts of stuff. And then I sprayed it up and sprayed it pink. Yeah, that's kind of what I do, you see. Would that be classed as woke? Was that my woke appeal? Anyway, little moggy van it was, ex-GPO. Anyway, we're whistling along. And as a group of us, as my other buddy, he had a Mark 1 Escort, all souped up with, what are they called now? What are they, dragon wheels or something? Anyway, big alloys on and big wheels, a little bit like a little dragster. Still ain't got like 1600 or 2 litre engine in that, or something like that. Anyway, so that was quite nippy. And it was fun. It was bright yellow, like a big banana. We used to banana car. And anyway, we just go down the cobble road. And my Morris Minor, because it was just a Morris Minor, it had the slightly bigger tyres because it was a van. And I hadn't got around to upgrading at that point because I'd fit a bigger engine in it later on. They V4 Corsair engine in it. And I used you have a Bellhausen plate and stuff. It's still the original. Was it original? No, it wasn't original. No, original. Had the I can't remember now. I can't remember if I had to change the gearbox as well. That's like a while ago now. I think I did. I think it was the Corsair gearbox in it. I might be wrong on that. But anyway, long time ago. And I had to upgrade all the brakes later on to Marina brakes. Anyway, we were driving around there. We thought, great, I wheel spin on it because it was all cobbles. You see, it was 1100 cc. So it was an A series block, BL A series, British Lane and A series block. Same engine basically as they put in the minis, except the minis had the transverse gearbox and stuff. Anyway, we were whizzing, the wheels just spin like crazy. You see, well, and my lights were going, the flashy lights, the horns were going, the kettle bogies were going, and then the copper, she stopped me. Yeah, and I have to admit, I was almost drooling because she was very, very. She was blonde and she was pretty, and yeah, she was absolutely gorgeous actually. But anyway, she stopped me, man, gave me a ticket. Didn't like her after that. She gave me a ticket and another ticket to have it removed. So I had to take go to the garage. They had to sign it and they take down the police station to say it's been removed. So yeah, the things you get up to when you're kids. Can't do that these days, no, unfortunately. But saying that, the roads are nowhere near as busy, or were nowhere near as busy as they are today. So that's fair enough. But we did have fun, I have to admit, cars and stuff like that. But at the time, you had no thought or consideration of environmental issues and impacts on the environment and stuff like that. You didn't at that when you're growing up, what have you, that sort of age group. This was been like. Well, it'll be 1988, something like that, I imagine. Yeah, about that. Not long before I met the missus. And then my life just changed. We had an instant 4 kids, and then we had a couple more. And it's just been together ever since. So I can't be wrong, I suppose. Although the parents thought it was at the time. Yeah, they weren't too happy. But they were in the end, they were fine. When they met Caroline, they were absolutely fine. Caroline's a salt of the earth type. So anyway, where was I? Chat again. I'm all over the place. Oh dear me. A Ford Scorpion. Oh my god. Blimey. How many Fords have I had? 3. I had a Ford Capri 2.8 injection. I had the Ford Cortina Mark II. I think it was 1600E. All old cars, because I loved the old cars at the time. It was fun. You should enjoy it, and getting there and pulling things about and, fixing them, hoping I'm not left with any bits left over. Yeah. And then I built a kit car as well. That was built. It was actually wood, because I'm a woodworker, you see. It was a wooden kit car. Yeah. Didn't have a wooden chassis, so don't worry. And it's not a Morgan either. No. It was based. It was supposed to. It was. I think it was a JC cars, and it was basically an MG midget, one of the old type with the old cycle wings, and that was a lovely thing to build. And it was all the bonnet and side panels had all the little flutes and for the cooling and what have you, and a piano hinge and what have you, just big old clamps and stuff, straps, and that was very cool. Big old headlights, big round headlights. So yeah, that was based on a Triumph Herald. Yeah, so I destroyed the Triumph Herald to make this kit car. So yeah, anyway, that was fun. Oh yeah, ULEZ. Oh, and it's ULEZ compliant, is it? Top smoke. There we go. That we are, Mad Monk. Yeah, we're doing no rewilding. Cheers for my friend. Love the Fiat Racing old cars. Are you talking about the Fiat Racing old cars? What the Fiat Miraflori? That was a 2-litre. You could actually put that engine. Would that also go into? That was one of my choices at the time to put into this Morris Minor. It was a Fiore engine. Yeah, that's quite a potent engine, that was. But anyway, I did the Corsair because that was available. Oh, Becky Mountain track. Oh, twin Weber carbs, yes. With pancake air filters. Oh my god, this is bringing back memories, Alistair. Skoda Favourite 1.3 LX was the first car I drove. Blimey. Well, my neighbour got a Skoda, I can't remember, Estelle? Skoda Estelle? He bought it from New. That was his name. Yeah, bought that from New. Andy Street, his name was. He's dead now, poor bugger. And anyway, he had this Skoda style air cooled they were, and if I remember right, yeah, from brand new, it hardly ever started in the morning. Whenever it was cold, even though obviously it was air cooled, get that thing started in the morning was a nightmare. That was a terrible car. My sister and Caroline's sister-in-law, my brother-in-law's wife had a larder estate for ages, and that thing was Larder Reaver, a larder, and that's an estate, and it's that thing was built like a tank. that was a brilliant car. That was actually that was a brilliant car, but no powered steering, anything like that, and it was heavy on the steering. That was hard work, and getting car parking and stuff like that. It was like, oh god, so good. Yeah, with an old plastic steering wheel. Not pleasant. But as a practical car and as reliable, it was always a really good car. You know what they call motorcycle drivers? What, like me? Oh, Joe was saying. I used to drive bikes in the middle of the forest. No licence, no helmet, and no cops, thankfully. Well, we used to have, me and my friends, we used to have this old Honda C90. You remember them old kind of moped type bikes with the fairing on the front? A Honda C90. They're quite popular at the time. I think they did a C50, a C70, and a C90. I mean, we did a C90, and there wasn't, we used to push it to the local woods and take that to the woods and ride it off Safewell Road in Thorpe St Andrew and whiz around there on this old C90. Hurt them around. It was bleak dangerous because those things are quite quick. The C90, I remember I did about 60 mile an hour. So it's, you don't want to do that through the woods. No, you hit a tree. You could die. Don't want to do that. No. And it hurts. Apparently dying can hurt. Don't want to do that either. Scrolling down. Tories, don't get tasers. Hello, number 3. Hello, number 3. I hope you're well, my friend. Bum, 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 bum. Did you take any of your old cars to Hertford Hill? No, Renato. I can't even think where that is. Where's Hertford Hill? I think that's Norwich, Renato. Oh, message retracted. while in the army, my dad got borrowed a diplomatic Mercedes, a diplomatic one with little flags on it, Mercedes, to take us all out around Osnabrück, obviously in Germany, I say, but only for one night. That sounds like fun. Could you imagine that? That'd be great. Oh, my dear missus, she's leaving us. You going to bed?
Yeah, do you want them in here? Or...
Oh, leave the door open so they come in then, can't they, if they want? Because I've got their treats. Oh, we've got treats. Come over there. That's a little bit better.
I can shut that over the door. That might be a bit better.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Cold better. I feel like cold air coming in. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I am. What's this? Tell you what. Yeah. Oh, who's that? Who's that? Oh, and who's that one? Oh, that's isn't that nice? Do you like that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so Jacob Rees-Mogg may be no more, thankfully. So let's have a look and see what's been going on here then. Okay. So this is the UK polling report, and it's the latest seat prediction: North East Somerset, and the Labour are gaining seats. Oh, surprise, surprise! I think people have had enough. And do you know what they say? I got Brexit's done. That's what they like to say, isn't it? Yeah, Brexit's done. Boris got it done, yeah. Yeah. With his...
We've got an oven-ready deal. Put it in the microwave.
Yeah, apparently so. It is as done as taking out the frozen turkey the day before Christmas. So the latest seat prediction, North East Somerset. Look at Labour. Oh, I wonder if I can make that bigger. So there's Labour. And it's 38.2%. And Conservatives are 34.32%. And it's the trajectory. That could change. Labour could go way ahead. That could go down. And or you know, Liberal Democrats might gain some more. Maybe. That could increase, couldn't it? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there you go. Liberal Democrats. Glee. So the Tories are heading for an election oblivion. That they are, thankfully. So I'm quite pleased about that. And when you look at this was about 3 weeks ago in the Mirror. This was, and Richie Sunak's Tories risk losing more than 1,000 council seats at the local elections. You know, they're coming up soon. And I hope you got your ID already and polished, so you can show them quickly your ID. Because you've got to have an ID hit now, you know that, don't you? And you can get an ID, use driving licence or your passport, have you? But if you haven't got anything like that, and a lot of the younger voters haven't, so they've been disenfranchised, the younger voter. So if you are a younger voter, make sure you've got some kind of form of ID, and you can get one from your council. Hopefully you've done it in time. So what's up? What's up there? I can hear you, Wally. So the result would be dire for old Richie Sunak. Oh, what a shame. And could potentially reignite the civil war within the Tory party. Let them destroy themselves. That's what they need to do. There's already a massive divide over the Brexit bill. And obviously, what's going on in Northern Ireland. Isn't it funny, the Brexit bill, all of a sudden, it's been put on the back burner because, well, in my mind, it's because Biden. That's what I think. Could you imagine if that was literally about to go through flipping Parliament and Biden turns up? That's going to be the forefront of conversation. It's not going to be very helpful, is it? No. Wally! He knows what to go through that way now. He'll go through the other door. The door that Caroline just shut. Wally, what's this? Wally, what's that? I might have to just deal with him. Put him on the other side of the door. Oh, Pandora's coming now. Oh, damn it. Dogs! I think you're right, Gingers. The dogs, they rule me. Don't you, Dora? Oh, Pandora. Yeah, baby girl. Oh, hang on, let's just get rid of that. Yeah. Oh, she's a good girl. Yeah, I was doing the video this morning. I was doing that video about Holland, about the Netherlands. Again, the fact that they decided that they don't want us Brits, not anymore. They don't love us anymore. No, not us rowdy ones, not us drunks and louts and layabouts. No. Well, she came along and knocked the camera over halfway through making the video. Thundering through she was. Do you know what, the cuddle? Didn't you, girl? Hey? That's what you wanted, wasn't it? Yeah, I know. She's thinking, I want another one. Oh, dear me. Dogs, eh? Well, so, in the analysis published for the Local Government Chronicle on Monday, I'd say it's a few weeks ago this was, 2 experts said that Tories are defending around 4 in 10 of all vacancies. And he says about a 6% swing from the Conservatives to Labour since 2019 could see the Conservatives' seats, losses breaching 1,000. With Labour registering 7 or so hundred. Yeah. The Democrats get some, the Greens will get some, etc., etc., won't they? Hopefully the Greens get some. We need more, we need a balance of government. We ain't got proportional representation, have we? So we need that balance. I'm just going to have to open that door. I'll be back just in a second. It's not moving. What's wrong, Warren? You open that door. Oh, dear me. These dogs. I've still got Sebastian's. That's good. There he is. See him in there. Isn't he beautiful? Ain't he a lovely doggy? Yeah. Now, we were talking for a walk earlier, and then Carol said, well, how come that Sebastian's running around like a blue arsehole, like a mad thing, and he's got a heart condition and keep getting water on the lung, and then they got Wally is kind of like a bit sluggish these days when he get towards the end of his walk, and then Pandora, she has problems as well because of her hip, but and then Sebastian, I thought Sebastian would be dragging my hobby, but no, he's running around like a mad thing still. Crazy. Dogs, eh? Dogs. Oh, dear. So this is all getting rather interesting. This is the Tories are just going to lose so many seats. Let's hope. When it comes to the 2024 general election, I think they're dreading it. They're all going to lose their jobs and their ability to lobby. Yes. Hopefully, less crime. So I wonder what's going to go on with Sturgeon now. I don't know. And her husband. Well, her husband mainly is the one who was arrested. Which is a crying shame because obviously that's why she stepped down. She knew what was coming, so she stepped down. That's what I see. Pretty obvious, really, isn't it, to be honest. So, yeah. I love it. So the Conservative pair, the elections expert, Lord Rupert Haywood. He's a lord, you see. I bet he voted Brexit. He looks like the type, doesn't he? Yeah, anyway. Speaking on Monday, the Tory pair and elections expert Lord Robert Haywood also stressed that the Conservatives have the most to lose when voters head to the polls. And the party is defending 3,290 council seats across the country on May the 4th. Be with you. And compared with 2,062 for Mr Starmer's Labour Party and 1,205 for the Liberal Democrats, according to the polls. But it could all change, In total, 8,141 council seats are up for grabs in 230 councils across England. The pair said that the Conservative brand has been seriously damaged by Mr Johnson and, well, quite frankly, I don't think we should do that because it's too many racists, you see, as well. Now, I'm not a fan of Richie Sunak, as you know, because I think he's a criminal. So, there you go. Anyway, I'm not a fan of them, but I have to admit, there are people like this Andy Plumgees and others. Is it like BNP or something? He's Britain First. He's the leader of the Britain First party. Oh my God, what a cretin. It's bad enough what he puts on Twitter, then you look at behind the scenes on some of his other chat things like in Truth Social, but yeah. It's all racist fascist. But again, Lee Anderson loves them kind of people. Yeah. He huddles up to the BNP. Actually, and the National Front, and also the Nationalist Housing Party. He thinks they're all great, he do. There's a picture of him with this geezer. I might be able to find it in a minute, actually. But there was a picture with... there we go, that's not it. With Lee Anderson, and I might have it, actually, somewhere here. Not there. I have got a picture of him somewhere. Anyway, Lee Anderson huddling up with this geezer from... He was a bit part, the British Nationalist Party. And Lee Anderson's trying to make out that he wasn't. Yeah. That he was just there, so to speak. And then you see pictures of him inside his flipping house having a beer. You really can't make this shit up. You really can't. But no one cares. That's the problem. Much of the British public, other than you guys and gals, much of the British public, they don't give a toss. They really don't. I don't care. I think he's great. Shove him in tents. Send him out to work the fields. Put him back in tents. Send him out the next day and do it again and again and again. For peanuts. What, you're back again now, Wally? Oh, okay. What's that all about then? You realise that Mummy's not there. She's gone to bed. She's tired. She didn't be well today. Oh, God, they can whine at me. They are. No? You want it? You do want it. Oh, you do want it. Problem when you do this, you got one behind and one over there as well. So you got to do the other one as well. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Oh, that's a terrible throw, but he got it. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem. I'll find that in a minute. Now, where was I? I lost where I was. I just Poseidon. Oh my God, there's Poseidon. Oh, that's another story. That is. I might leave it. Got time at the end. I didn't even realise I heard about this. The Poseidon. It's a I'll quickly do it now. It's in brief. It's only a quickie. It's a torpedo, and torpedoes are launched from submarines. In this case, nuclear submarines. And the concept is that Russia's developing this thing, and they should have operational by the end of the year. And it's got these Poseidon torpedoes. It's got a 100 megaton warhead detonated, triggering at 1,600 feet tsunami of radioactive seawater. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. So the point is, though, is that these things, they can get relatively close, and these are like drone torpedoes. They're not like traditional torpedoes, they just fire and hope. No, these things are actually, like the drones. They're controlled. They're driven there. Yeah, and then they're detonated. I think they'll probably on impact probably, but on the coastline. So effectively, you can render all the coastline radioactive with this tsunami. How tall do they say? 1,000. 1,600 foot tsunami was about 1,000 meters, so about a kilometer. That is tall. Yeah, tidal wave. Can you imagine the damage that caused, let alone the fact it's going to be radioactive? Yeah, and the one of the Russian ministers suggested we tested it on London. I might be wrong. Is there a possibility they could drive this thing all the way down the Thames? And it's going to be so small, it ain't going to get seen. Will it be picked up by the radar? I don't know. But scroll it down again. It says 65 feet long, Doomsday they call it, nuke, torpedo, remotely guided at 115 miles per hour. That's fast through water. Oh my God, that's incredibly fast through water. Blimey. Yeah, that's a bit frightening. So how far is that? Yeah. It's the fact that they can control it underwater, because obviously, controlling things underwater is not as easy as controlling things above water. So, yeah, that's not great. That's not very good. Let's go away from that, because that's all negative. Don't like that. Don't like that they burn people up. It's not a great idea, is it? It's not a good look. No. So yes, the Tories are heading for an election oblivion in 2024. And Jacob Rees-Mogg ain't very happy. No, because he's going to lose his seat. But also he's not very happy because of that a Brexit bill. Yeah. Which, that makes me happy that they've stopped that, because that was just that would been, well, Brexit itself is bad enough, but this thing is madness. Absolute madness. And it was just tribalism and what have you. It's just say, oh, we got Brexit done. I'll talk about that. You need to listen to this. This is a I can't remember what it was, GT Meister. I think it was GT Meister on LBC. Anyway, this was a while ago. I found it again in my little collection of bits and pieces, and I thought to myself, well, yeah, this is kind of why we are where we are. And these people are just unbelievable. They really are. Anyway, basically what it is a call between well, GT Meister's show on LBC Radio, but the a Brexiter and someone who works on the airlines as a hostess or something, I don't know.
Got to do with a pregnant woman on a flight from wherever. What's Boris Johnson got to do with her wages? Let's be diplomatic.
I'll tell you why. So, majority of the people that I work with live in the European Union. So, majority of the crew that are from Heathrow live in Spain, France.
Well, go and live in Spain, love. That's the answer, isn't it? You think it's so fantastic, go and live in Spain.
Philip, but you want a UK... you want a UK national airline to run. Why have we got 10,000 flights that are going to be cancelled by October? That's what the headlines are, and that is what is actually happening.
Well, it's simple, isn't it? Look at the way that companies like British Airways, Ryanair, look at the way they treat their staff. It's as simple as that. Nothing else. Look, British Airways, 12,000 staff they said, take new contracts or sod off. Hire and refire.
That's fine if you think that, but these are people that have kids. They have husband, wives, mortgages.
Families.
You know, yeah, but that's their job, mate.
But if you think it's so fantastic, the European Union, why are you still living here? Why?
Because we can't go anywhere else because we're not in the European Union.
He's Nick Doramus.
If we were in the European Union, we could have done. That's the problem.
So why are you still here?
Adios.
Because we can't
people
go anywhere.
need to remember how we ended up with Boris Johnson. In 2019, nobody was in any doubt about Boris's character, right?
Why do you like him? Why do you like him? The lying?
I don't like him. What I like is he got Brexit done. You know, you've got to look back. David Cameron, a simple majority would be enough. We'd be out of the European Union. David Cameron ran away. We end up with Theresa May. Brexit means Brexit. What a liar. And you had 650 MPs, the majority, trying to overturn a democratic vote. They talk about Boris and his integrity. What about them? Didn't respect the fact we had a vote.
What that means, when you lie to the nation about having freedom...
No, come on.
It could be invested into the
Cameron lied to the country, didn't he?
Oh, what about
Theresa May lied to the country. Brexit means Brexit.
Philip and Annabelle, I'm going to have to interject now, but thank you very much indeed, Philip and Annabelle. Philip in Surrey, Annabelle in Hampshire. Just want to do some factual corrections here. Boris Johnson's government rejected a move in Parliament to ban fire and rehire, Philip. Annabelle is absolutely right when she suggests that. And the idea that Boris Johnson has got Brexit done is an absolute fallacy. One simple way of checking that is to ask the people of Northern Ireland. Their government has been stuck in limbo. We are now looking at the undoing of the Northern Irish Protocol. We are starting all over again. That means we could once again end up breaking international law. The idea that we have got Brexit done, that there was an oven-ready deal, is provably untrue.
Yeah. These were the people who voted for it. These are the people, they still exist. I just want my Brexit. Got Brexit done. And they still exist. They're still there, obviously. Some of them are begged it, to be fair, but they ain't just the old people. Some of the youngsters as well. They joined parties like, well, not the Conservative Party, but also the likes of Britain First and what have you. They've got youngsters on there as well, going around doing their campaigning at the moment. Yeah. They all got on their bus, and they've gone campaigning. People aren't going to vote for them, but some people will. And the problem, those people are always the loudest, so they're the ones that cause problems. So the government is retreating from the Brexit bill. Anyway, I'm going to be doing it for about 2 hours, so I need to keep it sort of, I always go too long, don't I, really? So the government retreats from Brexit bill, plan to ditch EU laws. Bit of a climb down, wouldn't you say? And Jacob Rees-Mogg is obviously not very happy, but it doesn't matter because he's going to lose his seat. Or let's hope. The odds aren't in his favour. But I don't want to count my chickens until they're hatched. No. So ministers have begun a full-scale retreat over post-Brexit plans to ditch thousands of EU laws. We've heard all this story before, haven't we? In fact, I made a video about it earlier. Yeah, it's about 1,000 odd EU laws that got rolled over just to make the transition a little bit easier regarding Brexit. And now they want to get rid of them. To shed the shackles of the European Union. Remember that, obviously, we helped write most of these laws, but there you go, c'est la vie. That's a Brexit world for you. So now, Jacob Rees-Mogg for a while now, he's been trying to get this bill through. That's his kind of brainchild, really, I reckon. But yeah, in what it comes down to it, people are waking up to it. That it's nonsense. And it's ridiculous. They can never, ever get it done in time. It's just not possible. No, half the flipping, civil servants are either on strike or they're already very, very busy because of Brexit. And then there's all these bills that are going through at the moment. That requires Whitehall to do its thing. And like I say, they're just too busy. They ain't got time to do that as well. And how many flipping lawyers you're going to need to go through it as well as just civil servants. That was never, ever going to be possible. And now it looks like it's just going to be put on the back burner. And that coincides with Joe Biden's visit to Northern Ireland. Obviously. So, there's been a calm down and it risks angering all these Tory hardliners, the likes of that Spartan, who's been that little runt. Mark Francois. Spartan spandex, more like it. Yeah, Mark Francois. God, you can imagine him in spandex. Oh my God, he looks like he's... Don't wear... Mark Francois, if you're watching this, just in case, don't wear black spandex, because you look like like to put an apple in your mouth or something. Oh no, you're... Oh, a ball. Rubber ball. Look like a gimp suit. Yeah. You know how it goes. Actually. No, I ain't got it. Damn it. Oh, bring out the gimp. So the extent of the opposition to it, from business, environmental groups, unions in Brussels, has left ministers with no option but to say, oh, we'll put it on the back burner. But they're going to scale it down and take a lot more time over it. Which, if you're hell-bent on doing it, it makes a lot darn sight more sense. Most of the laws will stay anyway. Most of them will. Because even the laws on vaping and stuff like that, they will come under European directive. Because there's a lot going on about vaping at the moment. It is apparently it's illegal to sell it to under 18-year-olds, but no one's paying any attention. And it's the amount of nicotine, the addictive substance in it, that's a bit of a concern. You've got kids going around and smoking this stuff. Obviously, for young kids, vaping, all think that it's perfectly harmless. In some ways, it's less harmless than smoking a cigarette, but you're probably better off smoking cannabis, probably. So, under the bill's provisions, more than 4,000 EU laws kept on statute. It's probably near 6,000 laws, actually. A statute book after Brexit to ensure continuity would be automatically scrapped with a sunset clause, you see. The one option is obviously to extend the sunset clause. So you could do that. Maybe that will keep Jacob Rees-Mogg quiet, but there again, it doesn't really matter if he loses his seat. Do you know what? I won't be surprised that Richie Sunak would be quite happy for Jacob Rees-Mogg and other hard right MPs lose their seat. You know, the ERG types. It'd be quite good if Mark Francois lost his seat. Steve Baker. Brexit hardman Steve Baker, who's gone a bit soft. But he's gone a bit flaccid, that one. If he lost his seat as well. That would be good. Oh, Smith says you have the wee smoke. Are you having a bit of weed? Have a bit of weed. Talking about weed. Oh my God, what's going on in the... Oh. In the Netherlands, they're saying that you rowdy Brits, not all Brits, but the rowdy Brits. Basically, they're just saying, if you're going to be rowdy and a pain in the neck, don't come. That's pretty much what they're saying. That, yeah. It isn't like, an all-right ban on Brits regarding the new campaign from, in the Netherlands. Apparently, somebody was saying it's also aimed at people in them. They've seen the posters and what have you, or campaign's been running in Canada. I think it's everywhere already. But it was said that the Brits were top of that pecking order. Top of the problem thing. So it's I get it, because there's been since Brexit, there's been a huge change. What's happened is that these countries, such as the Netherlands, Spain, Germany, and other countries, are all going to follow suit. Spain's already started. They started, didn't they? Started last year. I did videos about it. You know, you can't walk down the street now in a bathing costume in some of the Spanish places, Spanish towns, including like places in Ibiza and various other places. The something islands. Oh, crikey. Anyway, so there's a lot of you can't. Oh yeah, and you get fined if you shit in the sea. You can't do that. So what's happening in the UK? It's literally if you urinate or number 2, do that in the sea, you can get fined. But I didn't know it's yours. A little flag on or something. It's a barcode. I don't know. But anyway, so some areas in Spain they're toughening up big time, and also you got to remain covered and stuff like that unless you're on the beach. So once you get on the beach, you can get your thong and your mankini and all that sort of stuff. All the stuff that that accentuates all your best features. And you'll be fine. But you can't walk down the road in some places in Spain. Not right. Well, the Netherlands looks like it's following suit, but with antisocial behaviour, because you could consider mankini as antisocial behaviour. I know I would. I don't know about Max Respect. I think he embraces them, apparently. But yeah, it's So yeah, the Netherlands have got this campaign running where they're saying that unless you're going to behave, we don't want you. I suppose one way of dealing with that is increasing fines and stuff, and which obviously means you've got police there, which could be problematic because you've got rowdy teens doing their thing. It's not it's up to 30-year-olds seems to be the biggest problem. Mainly men, but also women, but girls. Sorry, it is a problem, and I get it because there's been a huge. Since Brexit, it's been a massive change in the fact that now these countries can actually do that. It'd be very difficult while the United Kingdom was in the European Union to say, no, we don't. We don't want you here. We don't want you to, throw up everywhere and bust stuff up. So now it's easier because of Brexit. See, that's the benefit of Brexit. And then you got and then you got this the fact that areas of France, Spain, etc. The demographics are changing regarding foreign nationals living there. Now, I'm first to admit there's a lot. Well, I can tell you firsthand there's a lot of people that I know that have decided to up sticks and move back to the United Kingdom, including my mother and father-in-law who used to live here in France. Because they were worried, they didn't, they didn't want hassle. Basically, what to do? They're a bit stressy. They're sort of like getting a bit of a tiz about everything. So when they have a bit of paperwork or a letter come through the post, oh my God, what to do? A bit like that. And anyway, they went back to the UK, and various, not my customers, they went back to the UK. But who took their place? A lot of Belgians, actually. A lot of Belgians and Germans, but mainly got a lot of from France. I'm talking about. We have a lot of Belgians that have moved down here. So instead of, well, I've said this before, haven't I? Instead of fish and chips, it's mules and Fritz. Yep. So yeah, it's just the demographics are changing, and they're changing fast. They really are. And so the Brits will say, "Well, you want our money." The Brexiters, don't they? They want our money. Yeah, they'll fall over for us, including the German car manufacturing. They'll let us have what we want. It's all going to be the same. Nothing will change when we're out of the European Union, except we'll keep all those foreigners out. Instead, all that's happened is they kept themselves out of the EU. If you look at Dover. Although they did actually manage to, although there were delays, this weekend was a lot more organised, a lot more, not organised, but more successful than it was last weekend. That brings me on to the French police. They're saying it's your fault. And the English, the Brits are saying, no, it's your fault. Blame the French. Yeah, that's what Andrew Pearce likes to do. Blame the French. Everyone, and obviously the lettuce.
That is a disgrace.
Oh, is it? Well, yes, Liz Truss would say that was a disgrace. And she blamed France too. So it's, as it seems, things have changed. I think it's getting very difficult now to blame others constantly. It's become more and more obvious that Brexit's a blooming stupid idea. You know, even for those harder thinking. There's plenty of them. The Gaminati out there, well, they're getting to the point, well, we can't really blame anybody else. It's so flippin' obvious. They'll try. And they still are trying, but don't they look stupid when they do? Really stupid. In fact, they look ignorant. These Tories are constantly doing it. They're constantly trying to say, well, it's the French, the French, the French. Well, what on that? Yeah, all the experts, including Doug Bannister, he's the boss of Dover Port. He says it's because passport control takes much, much longer. You got to stamp the flipping passports and everything. What takes longer, it slows everything down. You get this chain reaction through everybody trying to get through the port, and all of a sudden you've got tailbacks. And then you've got to try to disperse the tailbacks. And that usually happens during the week when it's quieter. Well, this weekend they put on these additional checks in the sense of tents. So they put tents up for these for the coaches to go into additional coach to deal with the coaches with the school kids on and parties and stuff, heading to France, Germany, or wherever they might be going. And it was better, but still took too long. And the French police are saying it's not the French. They're saying it's the British that they are. Oh dear. But what can you say? Okay. Yes. Let's check chat first. I definitely need another screen just for a chat. One just there. Just handy. Just be a big screen. Just there. Bum, 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 bum. If you want Sport Channel, you can do that down below. There's a chatty thing there if you want to help us out. Because obviously I can't do this without, end of the day, it's kind of my job. So that and the videos and stuff. So I do what I can to keep it going. Otherwise, I'll have to stop. Lefty Boater, they are loud, but they learn. And that is very important. But it's most rich folk buying out Brits in Lisbon and high-end tourism in the Algarve. Well, a friend of ours who used to live here in France, he decided it was a very good idea to move to Portugal. Decided he couldn't afford it. And he's moved back to the United Kingdom now. He should stay there. That's what he's saying. He should have stayed in France. But the thing is, though, it's a bit stupid. He moved to Portugal, and that was after the transition period and what have you, after that time cut-off thing. So he lost all his flipping rights. He couldn't come back here either without going through the whole process again. I am Lefty Boat. Oh, Lefty Boat. Hello, my friend. How's the boat? Is it rocking? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh, Jeremiah, I'm scrolling up. Okay, we'll get that fast. Good. Ruth Guthrie, hi there, Seafog. I've been working, but looking forward to visiting my kids and baby Wren tomorrow. Hope you're doing well. Baby Wren. And Mum has made a turkey dinner for the family tonight. Oh, wow. We had curry. I made a potato and cauliflower curry. No meat. And I also made alasag. And my missus made flatbreads and red rice. And I'm full. And it was really good. Really, really good. So, yeah, do that again. I will. Well, I've done it before. So why not? Sagaloo. He's atop of my suspects list is Mark Fargast. Well, as the naked Tory. Can you imagine that? For God's sake. Who's heard the story about the naked Tory? Well, the rumour's been flying around Westminster for, well, quite a while, since last year, actually. And this particular Tory, we don't know who he is yet. So put his name in the chat. We want to know who he is. If you have got any suspects. Bit like Cluedo, you know? It was Mrs. Peacock in the library with a candlestick or something like that. Yeah, in this case it was Mark Francois in a gimp suit. And butt plug. Or something, I don't know. A rubber truncheon. I don't know. Anyway, whoever it might be. So yeah, anyway, this geezer happened to be a Tory MP. He woke up. And all of a sudden he realised, oh dear, I'm in a brothel. How could that have happened? Oh, I don't know. Start bollock naked. He was, yeah. A Tory MP. I wonder if he'll lose his seat. Anyway, Tory MP. And he'd, so he phones his, like, dial a friend or something stupid. I think like you got like a group of people that you can talk to if you're a bit lonely or stuff. Anyway, phoned him up, and then he phoned some Tory MP or somebody else, and they had to save him because he had no clothes. He couldn't find his clothes. He was naked. Would have been a bit embarrassing for the Tory party if someone spotted him out in the street. I recognise that left testicle or something like that. You don't know, do you? No. Anyway, he woke up there with Shay, where he was, no clothes on, no eyebrows because somebody shaved them off, and a pair of W's, one tattooed on each buttock. When he bent over, it went, wow. Well, only in the Tory party. Well, maybe. Oh, I'm really, really down in the dumps about the SNP at the moment. I don't know much about Youssef. Youssef. I don't know much about him at all. Hopefully he can turn things around, but as it stands, this is really damaging for this, and they're going to lose seats over this. Regarding, well, over expenses claims and stuff, and this camper. Might be nothing in that, you know. End of the day, why didn't they actually? They let him go, didn't they? So if they had, it was hard and fast, wouldn't they held on to him? Anyway, it's a nightmare. Just think about naked Tories instead. Think about Mark Francois start bollock naked in a gimp suit. Then he won't be naked, would he? Just think about him naked. Think of Alexander Boris to Pepple Johnson naked. 2 pairs of moobs, yeah. And think about, who else can we think about naked? Oh my God. Anne Widdicombe. Naked. Oh my God, that is a scary thought. I'm actually, to be fair, there is, yeah. And then you got Dominic Raab, Karate Kid Dominic Raab. He's probably the only one who's got any kind of muscle on him. Yeah. But I don't want to see him naked because, yeah, it's not really my interest anyway. No. I like girls. I married one. So, The French border police. They have been talking, they have. In fact, they've been making statements. This is in the BBC. And the French police are deciding that it is our fault. They're blaming the Port of Dover for the delays. Yeah, this was yesterday. Now, the French border police have accused the Port of Dover of failing to prepare properly for last weekend's holiday rush, when many travellers encountered lengthy delays. And some coaches of school children, we know, I did videos, didn't we? I talked about it last week as well, regarding this, kids waiting on buses more than 14 hours, sweaty, smelling, farting, acne-popping children. Left on coaches. Oh, we're nearly there yet. Haven't moved. Well, a spokesman, though, or spokesperson, for the French border control said every booth was manned continuously. Okay, so couldn't do much more than that. They were manned. And the person said the problems arose on the British side, obviously, because that's the direction of travel. Based on the forecast for the weekend, the French border police had taken the necessary measures to cope with this flow of traffic. A spokesperson for the French Police National communication team said this was not enough to absorb the number of buses announced for one day. They're already full of people working the border control, but they still couldn't cope with it because there wasn't enough still, because there weren't enough facilities. They say due to structural organisation of the control queues at the Port of Dover, the whole thing needs a complete revamp, reorganisation. That's on the British side, they say. The spokesperson said the number of buses the police were informed would pass through the Dover on the weekend of 1st of April and the 2nd were mathematically impossible to absorb by the control posts, and they had alerted the Port of Dover management several times during the week about the foreseeable difficulties. Oh. Well, the management of the Port of Dover therefore knew in advance that the flow would be a problem, they added. The French border police had mobilised all of its staff to deal with the rush, the person said. 100% of the booths were continuously armed and allowed all the light vehicle, heavy goods vehicle and bus routes to be opened throughout the weekend. The French staff were careful to ensure that the controls were carried out in a pragmatic and efficient manner. An additional deployment of personnel would not have improved the system, as there were no additional booths to be armed. Where are you going to put them? That's what the spokesperson said. Well, the chief executive of the Port of Dover, Doug Bannister, he told the BBC that new measures have been brought in to manage the flow, which they did this weekend, to be fair to him. And he's been quite open about it, that it is because of passport stamping and stuff. They just can't cope with the flow. So, there just ain't room to do anything there. The only change what he's able to do was to put these big marquees up for the coaches to process passports, which obviously was the biggest bugbear last weekend. And the whole thing has a ricochet effect. There's still 90-minute delays on passport control because they just can't cope with the volume. Well, Good Friday, the 17th of April, at the start of the Easter weekend, there were queues of around 90 minutes throughout the day, with no reports of long delays. So Doug Bannister did do his best, to be fair to him, and he managed to keep it flowing, because compared to last weekend, this weekend was, in some ways, you could argue it was a success. Even though it was slow, it was a success. So it just proves the point, doesn't it? And you need more capacity at the Port of Dover to be able to cope with the volume of traffic. And just stick your head in the sand about it, like, oh, crikey, what's his name, though? I forgot his name, though. The guy from the Health Minister geezer. Yeah, him. Oh, crikey. My mood's already going. Yeah, it's ignoring the junior doctors, and we're doing massive strikes this week. But 4 days consecutive, that is going to be horrendous. But I tell you what it does do. It proves a point that we rely too heavily on trainee labour. So basically what they are is slave labour, really, especially at the rates they're being paid. You know, well, they get about 16 quid an hour. We've already done 3 years plus of training. and then they get 16 quid an hour. Why bother? There's some prat on there saying, oh, well, you know, oh, you got routes for advancement, you see, if you're in the, you're a doctor. Yeah, if you're trained as a doctor, routes for advancement. You still need to be paid what you're worth in that here and now. You don't do all that training and keep retraining, and you end up with like 50, 60 grand's worth of debt. But you're told you're going to have to pay back, obviously, because debt. No bursary, or there is a bursary system, but it's lame. It's not like it was before. It's ridiculous, actually. I think the whole thing is ridiculous. And the thing, these Tories, they're not doing. I don't understand where their thinking is with this. The one thing that the people, the voter, the voter really wants change, where they really want change, and they want to see things improving and not screwed, pushed as a mug as the NHS. It's just maddening. It's absolutely maddening how they have, the Tories that is, absolutely decimated the NHS. And now what they want to do is blame the NHS and blame the workers of the NHS. All their fault. Yeah, a couple of years ago, they were clapping for them. How great they were, and but what was it the nurses saying, the doctors say? Clap and don't put food on the table. And food inflation as it is, and all the other problems as well, and the fact they haven't had a proper pay rise for a lot, in line with inflation. It's just madness. It's absolutely madness. The point being is, or I'm trying to get to my point, what I should say, is that if you don't look after the thing that we care about as a voter, such as our health and the NHS, we're not going to vote for you. If you don't look after the NHS, you're going to lose support. Because on both sides of the political spectrum, we care about the NHS, we care about our health. Besides, it's a no-brainer. If you don't look after the NHS, they can't look after the people. You can't look after the people. The people get sick and they can't work. And then you've got a problem. And they just become a burden. That's pretty much it. They're going on about getting people back into the workplace, and yet they're not thinking about the ones who are in the workplace who could end up falling ill, and because of conditions that haven't been treated properly. Let's say if you need a new hip or something, or a new knee joint, you can't work. You end up going, either, end up on the disability benefit, or you end up on sickness benefit, which you can't survive on that. So you end up having to, what's the sickness benefit in the UK? Some stupid amount. Unless you're getting paid full whack because you got a employer that's half decent. What, about 33 quid or 60 quid a day or something stupid? That's not a lot of money. It used to be 30 odd quid a day. I remember those days, but I don't know what it is now. But sickness money was horrendous. You can't live on that. So, it's madness. It's just no foresight whatsoever. Scrolling down. The security door people are very aggressive. British security door people are aggressive. I wouldn't know, because I hadn't had the need. No, because I haven't been to a nightclub or anything like that for a very long time. Oh, who's Zebediah Thomas? Marcus, I did SAS training weekend. There's Snetterton. Okay, Snetterton racetrack. In Norfolk. And live training attacks. I don't like to talk about it. I don't think. Just kill the cardboard falling man in the field. Yeah, I understand. It's not too far. There's a really good market there as well, actually, in Snetterton. So go along A11 to get there. But it's A11, not A12. But yeah, it's A140. But yeah, Snetterton. Yeah, it's really, really good moment. But racing, Nick, racing. Yeah. And then continue. Privatise, blame things on parts not already privatised. Yeah. That was the worst thing that ever happened to the country. Margaret Thatcher, the milk snatcher, she really screwed things up there, didn't she? Okay, so it sounds like every British tourist so far at crossing borders are being asked for visa documents. I've met the replay. Why would I need a passport? Well, you don't. Yeah, if you don't want to go to the United Kingdom, you don't need a passport. And if you want to stay within the Schengen area, you don't need a passport. You just use your ID card. It's just so much easier. The only reason I got a passport is, although I've got to renew it next year. Got a blue, or was it black? It's a bendy one anyway, whatever it is. Yeah, doesn't look very good quality. Yeah, I need a new passport next year, unfortunately. But I think we've got to have one here anyway. But personally, I've got no intention back in the UK. But on the other hand, if there's a problem with my kids, I want to get back, don't I? So I need to make sure I've got one. And I will put a cover on. I might even paint it in protest. Burgundy. I might even glue the covers on from my on my old passport. Would that make it void? I'll probably void it, wouldn't it? Yeah. Can't do that, can I, really? Maybe I can make a cover at my old passport. Velcro them on. And watch passport control stare at me and say, you poor sad git. I just, at least I won't get my passport stamped. That's the only thing. My passport, if I visit the UK, does not get stamped. No. Because I've got my carte de jour, you see. So, it's just, sometimes I just stick my head in my hands, you know, and think, so what on earth is going on? Because every day there's something new. I'm sure politics never used to be like this. It's just maddening. But frustrating, it really is. I just, they can say that. I never used to really follow politics to that degree. No, just, you know, it's on the surface. Read the clickbait headlines. Maybe. That's the problem, you say. I think it's part of the problem, is that's what people do. You know, it's like my video put up today, did quite well, but the one that got regarding the Netherlands. Boycotting Britain. Well, it's not entirely true. It's a little bit. It's kind of there, but it's limited on information, so it kind of gets you thinking. But makes it a little bit clickbaity. But how else am I supposed to get views? I don't get them any other way. People click off when they see me anyway. Nobody loves me. No. The death sentence is Brexit, and it is. Labour could make it a campaign issue. What, the negatory? Security door people are aggressive. Number 3. Doctor's pay is going from... Oh! But that's what they're asking for, isn't it? You're talking about the junior doctor's pay is going from £14 an hour to £19. Have they got it? Am I out of touch here? It wouldn't be announced on the weekend, would it? Or would it? Yeah, on a Sunday. Because they do the strike this week, 4 days. So, are you saying that the strikes are off? Because that's what they're asking for. They're asking for £19. Or do you mean that's what they are asking for? Well, it's a significant percentage, like 34% or something. I think something like that. Well, yeah, but the problem is that they haven't had a pay rise for a very long time, and it's ridiculously low in the first place. Smith says I'm ugly. So am I. Join the club. We can have the ugly bugger club. I was going to say something else then, but I can't say that. Love from my audience, says Sean Mangan. Hello there. How you doing, my friend? Oh, you saying a malt whiskey or mere whiskey? Have you accidentally pressed... Yeah, I think you meant malt whiskey because the T's near the R. Do sex machine. And that pleasure of not having documents strolling around if catched by police will cost you, whoa, 200 to 500 euro fine and probably detention in an immigration centre. Lovely. Yeah. God, these flipping boat things, don't you? Yeah, for the immigrants. Illegals, apparently they're legal, you know. What, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, but obviously not according to these Tories. So, now let's get on to news. Not maps, news. Oh no, so that's what they want. Yeah, I get you. I don't think it's gonna. They're holding fast. They said, if you call off his strike action, we can talk about it, which means nothing. Steve Barclay, that's it. Steve Barclay, something about. It's coming to my head. I got two. Oh. Satnav says I got £240 a month for disabled living allowance when I was 11 due to autistic spectrum issues. Now I see. Oh, you're joking! £250 under the same system. 23 years later, and you went out by a tenner. That's nuts. Sorry about that, mate. My son's disabled, and he gets PIP's payment and stuff like that, and that hasn't moved much. In fact, it got a little bit actually, to be fair to him. But it's not great, and having to jump through flipping hoops. They are guys. They are. Come and say hello again. Oh, yum 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 yum. What you got there? What's that? What can you smell? Can you smell that? Hmm? Can you? Oh, that's nice. Is it nice? Medora. Right. Where was I? I'm here. Oh, I'm clock off about 2 hours, so a few more minutes. Yeah, that is. You're right. Oh, I get your point there. Number 3, that is misleading. The 35%. When said, 35. I was listening on the radio earlier, but I knew what the rates were. And I thought, I think exactly what you're saying, and that's what they do all the time. Even the people sometimes they use those figures, the methods of calculation, even if they support the strike, or they say they support the strikes, or say they support the doctors. Then they go, but. I was listening to who was it this morning? It wasn't Ben Kentish, it was another one. This afternoon, sorry. On LBC. And it was all like, I support them, but. Putting their lives at risk. But, do you think it's okay for them to put people's lives at risk? They're entitled to withdraw their Labour. The only people that are putting their lives at risk are the Tories. Regarding the patients and what have you. What else are they supposed to do? You can't constantly just using what's the phrase? What's the word? Oh, it's a guilt tripping for a start. Vocational. That's it. Vocational. That's the phrase or the word. Yeah, there's a vocational. We should be glad. We should be pleased to get 60 grand worth of debt to work in the health service to be abused. It should be a pleasure. Yeah. No wonder we're all leaving and end up over in the EU or other countries as well, not just within the EU. No, people even doctors and nurses and leaving the profession, and some of the doctors getting close to retirement, retiring early because of tax systems. They're better off to do so because they get penalised. It makes no sense. The whole thing is completely messed up. I think they're changing that one though. That's been changed. Every little helps. Not great, but helps. Yeah. I've done a t-shirt about that. Tory. Oh, no. Tesco's one. Well, Tories, every little helps. Or very little helps. That's it. Very little helps. Oh, stop with the dog treats. My 2 colleagues are looking at me, hopefully. Really? Oh. I'm just finishing off my lunchtime veggie curry. Do you know what? Curries, they always taste better the next day, don't they? Oh, give me a little time to marinate. Soak up all the flavours. And I love potato curry. I just love sagaloo and stuff like that. Or spinach and potato. Oh. And when I used to work down in London, this was the Cat Hill in London, Desmond House. I was then the overcladding there with these panels that look awfully like the ones in Grenfell. But yeah, with these panels, overcladding. And there was a Jewish butcher's downstairs on the ground floor. It was on a bit of a hill, you see, because it's called Cat Hill. There's a hill. And there's part of it's come out like that, and where the V was, there was the butcher's there, but also the attached bakery and stuff. They make pies and that, yeah. And vegetarian, yeah. So butchers, it was Jewish bakery, sorry, Jewish butchers, but it's all vegetarian stuff in there. And that was so good. I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Even though I was working like a flipping mad thing, because just keep eating this stuff. It tastes so good. So passport control is a bit of a a bit of a problem that put the Port of Dover. So the only thing we can do there is, I think they just need to completely rethink it and start again. But how? Because it's so busy. I don't see how you can do it. Unless you build another Port of Dover next to the Port of Dover that we already got. Reclaim some more sea, do a Netherlands on it, and then build another Port of Dover. Properly. Designed for the fact that you had Brexit. It wasn't needed before, remember? Before it was fine. It used to run like clockwork it did. People just go through, and if, for instance, they got too busy for whatever reason, they did literally you just showed your passport and that's it. And yeah, sometimes I've been there. Come on, quick, get on. Didn't check anything. I had that before. But other times I had it where they want to check everything, go through the van and stuff like that. So it was it's I just can't see what they're going to do, even with the money that they've been given. Yes, they have been awarded some money, but from the Shared Prosperity Fund. The SPF Fund, which is the replacement for the European Development Fund, and which is worth about a quarter of what they were getting before. And it's been a misappropriation of funds, I would say. Port of Dover is part of the infrastructure of the country, and we shouldn't be having Shared Prosperity Fund being used, 74 million of it, to do upgrades to the Port of Dover. How is that the shared prosperity? That's not your village sports hall or something like that, something for the community, or a community somewhere, no. Like what the European Development Fund was all about. No, the amount of money they got spent in Cornwall, then they voted for Brexit. Stupid people. Sorry. Just such an oxymoron. The whole thing is just madness. I just to this day, I just can't get my head around it. And listen to people like that bloke I showed. This was only late last year, that clip I showed you. I think about October. Yeah, I think it was about October last year. People, it's not isolated. Oh, there's loads of people like that. Yeah, that's the little audio clip I shared with you. There is irony. Yeah, there is irony. It's just oxymorons. Irony. Shoot yourself in the foot, slap yourself in the face, run into the wall, whatever you want to do. Whatever it is, it's Brexit. Just want Brexit, and it's just God, get Brexit done. Brexit is Brexit. For God's sake. Oh, feel my pain. Oh, if it was working, I think, okay, maybe someone got to live with and that'd be okay. But it's not. I was never going to work. But it was it's just an absolute disaster. It's just, I just find it very difficult. I do. I really find it difficult. I tell you what it is. I don't suffer fools very well. If I think people have been stupid, I pretty much say they've been stupid. Yeah. Because even the schools now, they're pretty much saying that they can't get the kids out. No, because obviously those coaches and what have you. So 18-hour backlogs of school coaches. They were lined up with Dover last week. Yeah. So coachloads of children seek to travel by ferry to Europe. The thing is, that door isn't swinging the other way. The travel industry has warned that the problem at the border is likely to be repeated every time Brits rush to the continent en masse. Same as they did last year. So we're repeating exactly what happened last year. We come to, I don't know, beginning of summer holidays. Are we going to be seeing the same thing? Maybe, maybe not. You know, maybe Doug Bannister will be able to do what he did this weekend. But it really depends on what the traffic is. Is the traffic all going to be coaches, or is it going to be, you know, cars? You've got better. Obviously, you need to know what the figures are going to be. So yeah, during the so it's likely to be repeated every time Brits rush to the continent en masse during school holiday periods, until or unless authorities significantly ramp up officer numbers at the border, or the EU scraps its policy of stamping individual passports and allows British travellers to use e-gates. How's that going to help the ported over? That's silly. The EU is not going to scrap the policy of stamping individual passports, because if you scrap that, well, that could actually happen. Actually, to be fair, that could actually happen with the biometrics when they come in. I think with that they won't be stamping passports, because they've basically got all your details and everything. They'll know already that whether the passport's stamped or not will make any bloody difference, because they already know it'll be on the system. But e-gates, how are e-gates going to help at ported over? We're going to have e-gates for your cars? Oh, it just sounds like Jacob Rees-Mogg again, isn't it? You know, got about e-gates. Those things can still be a problem. Especially if you wear a hat or a face mask and they try to scan your face. So it seems logical to us that with the volumes of traffic we have both ways, the UK and the EU, can come up with better ways of facilitation. Now, that's not entirely true. The traffic from the EU to the United Kingdom is... I shared a video with you a few days ago, and it's drastically reduced. I mean, it's drastically reduced. Pretty much everyone's boycotting the United Kingdom. In fact, I think that video did quite well, actually. But yeah, there's people aren't travelling to the United Kingdom as they once were, because not notwithstanding these ID cards. Now, I don't have an ID card because I just use my passport. I believe we can get one, to be honest. But anyway, with these ID cards, it's like identification cards, just literally a little credit card thing. And they use it all the way around the European Union, within the Schengen area, and travel freely without the need to purchase a passport, which costs either 80, 90 euros or whatever it might be. And so why bother? So they're not travelling to the United Kingdom as they were before. Now, Jersey has struck a deal with France. It's only a pilot scheme where they can literally do it, without a passport, just using ID cards, basically. And a lot of the problems are is that neither the European Union or the UK has access to the data. That's the problem. Otherwise, why would the ID cards be a problem? If you've got access to the data, you'll know who's who. You're able to collate all that anyway, wouldn't you? So the whole thing's that was missed. The Trading Corporation Agreement. There's no such thing as...
We got an oven-ready deal. Put it in the microwave.
No. Not whatsoever. None whatsoever. Absolute crap. And besides, didn't you tell us this?
I vote to stay in the single market. I'm in favour of the single market. I want to be part. I want us to be able to trade freely with our European friends and partners.
That's what he said. And then what did he do? The whole thing is completely and utterly screwed up. So the post-Brexit Britons must now have their passport stamped, we know all about that, in the Schengen area, blah, blah, blah. So the European authorities can monitor whether visitors are exceeding their visa-free tourist limit of 90 days within 180 days. As a result, there have been long queues during busy periods, ain't there just? Chiefly school holidays. To pass through passport controls at the Eurotunnel, Port of Dover, as well as some European airports. Part of that's because there's been strikes and some of the British Airways flights and Ryanair's, they cancelled the flights. And UK Home Secretary Suella Braverman rejected claims that the weekend delays were a direct result of Brexit, but we know it is, and that makes them look stupid, thankfully, because that woman is evil. She is just plain evil. Plain this, yeah, it's just she's just foul. She's just. I just don't know what to say about the woman. She's so bad. Anyway, check the chat. Even if you get an electronic visa, that doesn't mean you get granted entry. Exactly. Oh, I know who's up at the toss. Love my turnip mashed with butter and plenty of pepper. I'm not a lover of turnip. I don't mind sautéed and what have you, and put in a stir fry. That sort of thing's quite good. But also, I suppose you could use turnip in kimchi as well, couldn't you? You put radish in kimchi. Yeah, that's a South Korean dish. And there's I bet turnip would work, actually, in kimchi. Sue Gray. Oh, no, not Sue Gray. Sue Gray could use her laser eyes to mesmerise everyone going through the gates. What like the Hood? You know the Hood. Thunderbirds are go. Johnson said a lot of things. All of it is crap. Pretty much all of it. What did he say? Oh, I haven't read it down. Well, I'll say. Well, there's obviously
Kipper.
And he said, that as well, get Brexit done.
Let's get Brexit done. We've got an oven-ready deal. Put it in the microwave.
Yeah. So there's a few things he said. I don't know. Did he say this?
Where's the shit at? I've got a paddlehead poking out.
He might as well have done. Yeah. Because he is a fat husband. Yeah. I think the portable passport checker may be a viable option. Just load it with the details of, say, a coach passengers beforehand, and a customs officer could go on board to do the checks. Yeah, that'd be the logical answer, wouldn't it? As long as you've got somewhere to put the coaches at the time. So you need to be able to have enough people to do that, obviously. So it's all about systems, isn't it? I get so mad, says Joa, when we know how the passport processing of the Brits works in the airports here, because you already have the necessary paperwork and the air company has identified you. Reason why. ETIS, the biometrics. Says, the sex machine. Ooh. So let's see. Well, the ETIS is a form of electronic visa for those e-gates, but it will still require you for your passport. So you still got to have your passport with ETIS. Oh, okay. Your passport to be stamped and a regular checking procedure as the rest of the non-EU country travel, of course. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Cheers for that, buddy. I'm enlightened. See, you never stop learning, do you? That's good, isn't it? Top Smoke says e-gates. Hey, I know, it's a bit of a laugh at that. It's just... Jacob Rees-Mogg, go to Portugal. That's what you used to tell everybody. Go to Portugal. Use the e-gates. Anyway, he's going to use a seat. That can't be too bad. Well, no, not too bad. It's going to be great. They didn't keep up with Tom Jones. Who did keep up with Tom Jones? Oh, I got some original Tom Jones from the early records of Tom Jones. What's new, pussycat? And all that. What's that later? Yeah, they're quite thick actually. The original vinyls are really thick. I've got some old Baker lights as well, but yeah, I can't play them on there. You need a stiff needle. I ain't got one yet. And also, I got the speed on that one. I got the right speed. No, I can't do it on that one. Like 78s. 78s, that's it. The 78 speed on the records, you know. That way. Records, that way. record deck. I'd play using records, but then I'd get demonetised. I can't. It's called copyright, you see. And I've got enough trouble with this channel. Oh, I've got a copyright strike. So I've got to be careful regarding that. So I might not be around for much longer anyway, because, end up getting so many strikes. Yeah, the other one's nearly off now, though, so it should be off within the next few weeks. So I had one strike where I got banned for a week. But this one you don't get banned for. It's just a copyright strike. So, yeah, but I mustn't get 3 of them. No. But say to be. If it happens, it happens. I can't worry about it. I think... Oh, that's a good idea. Scroll down, scroll down. Tom Jones. Oh. I have to. I do like Tom Jones. Too nippy for me. Also, I don't like Tom Jones. Oh, I like Tom Jones. I do. I think he's cool. I got a DOA. Oh. And their version, and it's not you. Oh, sorry. I got. What's a DOA? Drugs? Something order. And their version is not usual. Sorry. We've got the Japanese tempura, and they got us some veggies. We got some tempura batter. I'm not so keen on the things when you go to the China. I love going to the Chinese with the missus, and it's quite good for us because Caroline, she's a vegetarian, which is awkward. Plus she's got nut allergy, which is awkward, and now she's got this tummy troubles. Since she had a gallbladder out, she's got to be careful. So it's like all these problems. But the thing about the Chinese is she can pick what she wants, and because it's a buffet style. And it's very reasonable as well. It's for both of us, to have a full-on Chinese. It's a sit-down meal, what have you, and a drink each. In this case, not we did water now, to be honest, but it's about what is it now? It's about 23. Yes, €23. About $11.50 each. Bargain, I'll tell you. Because Buffy style. You go out of that place and you're like that, you're like, oh no, and you do that before you go shopping for food. And then you don't buy anything. I don't want it, I don't fancy it, don't want it. And Caroline goes, yeah, but, no, but. And if you're no, but no, we just can't eat it. So, yeah, so we don't buy it, even though we could eat it later. So our shopping bill last week was really low. It's pretty good, we went to Chinese, you see. Delia, not allowed anymore. Oh no. Or Delilah. Oh, Delilah, no. Oh god, that's just silly. I think the political correctness is a problem. I do. And not because of the reason why it's politically incorrect. It's because all it does is rile up the right. I understand, obviously, got some nasty thing. We got the gollywogs and stuff like that. And obviously, I think that I get all that. In fact, I've got a couple of records here from, what are they called again? George. The Black White Minstrel Show. Got 2 very old records. I don't buy them. It's more about, the fact I found them in the in Oxfam or something they were in there. And I bought them, not because I obviously support it, but just it's a reminder of how horrible we were. And we're going back there, I think. I think we're going back there. If anyone knows that Black and White Minstrel Show, it was on the BBC, actually, I think I remember rightly. And it was basically loads of people dancing all blacked up in the faces and stuff. And George, singers, George. Oh, Black and White Minstrel Show. I'll come to you in a minute. Yeah, but anyway, it's the thing about that, it's been disgraceful. But at the time, you don't think nothing of it. I didn't even have that association. I didn't put the 2 and 2 together. But now I know. Obviously, it's kind of you can imagine how black people have you, and would feel very uncomfortable about it. Obviously, but not regarding that so much. But on the some of the political correctness now has just gone stupid. I just want to live in a society where we can live and let live. People make mistakes. People say things they shouldn't say because either they're a little bit stupid, but But we shouldn't just get up in arms about every single thing. I get that social awareness and all that, and, woke. I get all that, and we must be treat others how we expect to be treated ourselves. But I do feel it's gone a little bit far. And if it upsets somebody and they let you know, well, then you stop. But we don't have to escalate it. But no, everything seems to be. We all jump on it now. We all jump on political correctness. And comedians and what have you, they're all kicking off because of it as well. Because it makes it harder for them to try and entertain people. Because there again, you got people like flipping Jim Davis and flipping Brexit. Oh, God, and Bennett. I've seen him down at Great Yarmouth when the missus and that watch. I have to admit, it was a brilliant evening. But thinking back, it was racist. His shows were racist. And in that little, on the old pier there where his theatre was, I think it's shut down now, but anyway, his theatre was, the seats were so close together, you all sharing each other's sweets and stuff like that. It was really quite cramped. But it was a brilliant atmosphere, and I've got to give Jim Davis his due. Even though he's a racist cunt, he's a racist devil. Even though he's a racist devil, he's one hell of an entertainer. Then he really brought the crowd alive. But I have to admit, they were all old people. They were old then. I think me and Caroline were the youngest ones in there. But I have to admit, there was a laugh. But then when I think back now, a lot of the jokes and the comedy that was very race orientated. Which isn't acceptable. But I do think we need to lighten up on. I feel that we're kind of like going down that old bandwagon, and it's getting to a point where all we're doing is we're riling up the hate on the right because we want everyone to be fluffy bunny, and people aren't like that. They're not. I'm not all fluffy bunny. No. Sometimes I say stupid things. Sometimes I upset people. Unfortunately. Floorskins? What? Oh no, he's here. Hello, Floorskins. Hello, how you doing, buddy? Blackface wasn't exactly the way to go. Yeah. Anyone remember the I think there's George from number 3 says my parents went to watch the Black and White Minstrel Show, and I asked why black people weren't singing their own songs. Well said. An embarrassed silence, says number 3. I can imagine. That's a good point, actually. That's a very valid point. Why? Well, we know why, don't we? Just blatant racism, wasn't it? They didn't think that it would be acceptable to see black faces on the television. For some weird reason. Well, we know why. It's just horrible people. And we went along with it because it was the norm of the time, and it wasn't. I was quite young at the time, to be fair. I can remember my sister wanted the gollywog. You remember the gollywog from the Robinson's Jam? And she got a gollywog. And then the gollywog got banned off the Robinson's Jam, whatever, didn't it? But it's just, I didn't think anything of it. It was just a teddy. I didn't. My sister, she didn't understand the rate. It was rather a racist figure, really. Because then we go back to blackface and all that sort of stuff, don't we? Oh, hang on. Didn't the Canadian Prime Minister or President, Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, didn't he blackface once when he was a student or something? They really jumped on that, didn't they? During his election campaign. But there again, what we got? We got Lee Anderson hugging up to BNP members, Lovely people, these Tories, They're really going the wrong way. They need a new party. That's what they need. Yeah. They're not really the Conservative Party of what they were. If you look back at the Conservative Party, like, for instance, when John Major, for instance. I love him or hate him, but he was a decent bloke in the sense that he was a moral man in many ways. Okay, they had the scandals and all that sort of going on, but he did start obviously the Good Friday Agreement, which has all been talked about today, isn't it? You know, and yeah, Tony Blair. He phoned into radio. I bet everyone tuned out at that point. Yeah. I want to acknowledge Tony Blair though for the things that he did right, not for the flipping colossal mistakes, obviously. Although I was quite happy to see that tyrant got rid of. There you go, we've got new tyrants now, haven't we? Scrolling down, that I am. Bum, 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 bum. It was just my overwhelming ego keeping me up now. My energy level died off the cliff an hour ago. Oh dear. It's 2:24. I'm going to click off. I'm going to say in 6 minutes. 2.5 hours, and that'll be it. And Putin recommended vodka drinking to the Russians. What? I think they have enough vodka. To be fair, I think the Russian vodka is some of the best vodka as well. It's hard to get now. Well, you can't really get it, can you? It's all sanctioned. I wouldn't buy it anyway. I'm not drinking anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't. Tap, tap, tap against the bloody window. What? Floorskins. What do floorskins say? Celtic Ammo, floorskins, like that. Yep, brilliant. What's the worst job you've ever had? Knock, knock, knock at my bloody window. Greta Thunberg. Ah, gin. What? What the hell? Recovery says, different subject. I tried to find the Colin from Portsmouth YouTube clips, but failed. Anyone? Who's the Colin from Portsmouth? Have they disappeared? I haven't seen them for a very long time. Alright, so remind me who Colin from Portsmouth. Which one's Colin from Portsmouth? Oh my god, I might have to show you something in a minute. Every Colin from Portsmouth call so far, part 1, it's on Twitter. Aha! So if you're on Twitter, Ruth, it's if you look at exploding heads, I'll show you in a second. Apparently there are that's exploding heads. That's a piss take. That's not actually the Collins calls from Portsmouth. Did you? Well, there's this. That's not exactly what you mean. It's exploding heads, basically taking the mic. Which we could tell you what. Let's play one. How long is that? It's only a minute. There we go.
Colin from Portsmouth is on the line. Hello, Colin.
You tell me this, right? You tell me this.
Right.
How many people actually like ventriloquists? How many people actually enjoyed watching Keith Harris and Orville?
Not very many people, I'd say, Colin, no.
So why are we supposed to be enjoying Remain of Jeremy Hunt with his hands up his truss's backside?
Well, it's the only way she can function.
This government.
What happened there?
Tell me this.
Right.
How many people actually like ventriloquists? How many people actually enjoyed watching Keith Harris and Orville?
Not very many people, I'd say, Colin, no.
So why are we supposed to be enjoying Remain of Jeremy Hunt with his hand up Liz Truss's backside?
Well, it's the only way she can function.
This government.
I don't know why it's doing that, but there you go.
Many people, I'd say, Colin, no.
So why are we supposed to be enjoying Remain of Jeremy Hunt with his hand up Liz Truss's backside?
Well, it's the only way she can function.
This government.
I'll give up on that one. For some reason, it's not flowing through. It's not my internet. My internet's fine. But I'll tell you what I do want to find. Something I'm going to have to show to you, or share with you. Oh god, this is horrendous. Oh. Oh, before I go. Nigel Farage. Oh my God, there we go. There you go. Bum 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 bum. And I'm going to bring it over here so you can see. So I can drag it over. Come on. Let's go. Come back. Oh. Alright, this, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is in Norwich, my home city. Yeah, it's flipping embarrassing. There you go. Norwich.
Are almost as funny as Billy Connolly. I tried to book a hotel, but they're all full. The bloke behind the counter said you're not eligible. I tried the army base, they said that they've got no space. We've heard they're even gonna put them in the Albert Hall. Hey, 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 'cause Nigel says just how it is. It's been a bodge job. And Nigel says just as it is.
But me, who's got no neck?
So Yusuf, shut your goal. Nigel's always on the ball. Nigel says.
I can't even begin to tell you how disgusted I am.
Nigel says.
I am absolutely furious.
Nigel says.
Save our Scampton.
Nigel Farage.
Truss his backside.
Well, it's the only way she can function.
This government.
Is it working now, is it? No, he's keep clipping out. The only way she can function. Okay. Well, yeah, exactly, Joe. What's happened to my city? It used to be a lovely place. And now look at it. Nigel Farage was there, bringing out the racists. Even wrote him a song. Oh, Gammon TV, you aren't wrong. Mooted. Don't blame you, Joe. I know it's terrible. How can you put? I don't know exactly how you put us through that. I just couldn't resist. It's so. I don't know about you, Reagan, but I follow all the right wingers, or as many as I can find on Twitter and flipping the YouTube and stuff like that, because it kind of makes you realise that you're doing the right thing. Because these people are just foul. I mean, they're foul. But I also see how some people get groomed, because sometimes they have. Oh, I can see where you're coming from with that, but I don't agree. But you can see how people get groomed into that kind of way of thinking. You know, it's the same. You can't get a pint and a half pint pot. You know, my dad used to say that. And it's like, you know, oh, for God's sake, what that whole story again. It's like housing. We've got a massive problem in the United Kingdom at the moment. We've got the housing. And, well, I'm going to click off in a second. Oh, I am going to click off in a second. Yeah, I've got a lot of problems with housing in the United Kingdom because we can't get on the foot on the property ladder. And that's a massive problem. If our youngsters can't buy houses, what happens to how we can? Yeah, we're at the moment in a situation where there's negative growth and what have you, that we're just recycling or recirculating the same money. There's no growth, so we're just spending our own money. Well, actually, we're bringing some money into the country, but also it's being extracted by Tories, it seems. And us who want to leave. So I am going to. I prefer My Lovely Horse by Father Ted. What you mean like that one?
Coming over here, taking our jobs and our women.
Maybe. Father Sauls were never this cruel, and he was an army captain before. I discovered the right-wing hashtag recently. Oh my god, I'm going to try that one. Right-wing hashtag. I'll do that in a second. That I am. Well, I'm going to call it because... 2.5 hours, which is long enough for what I said I was going to do. So, enough is enough. Yeah. Oh, there's him. Oh, okay.
Just remember the days when people like Nick Clegg would say that Nigel Farage's claims about an EU army are fictional and that it's a dangerous fantasy. Well, we've seen that the EU has now launched its own guard, its own armed guard that'll police its border. Why, if it didn't have aspirations of being a political and economic union with its own armed guard?
Something wrong with him. There really is. I think he's they train as or he's at the college or university as a fashion designer or something like that. He used to wear some really weird stuff. He's pretty weird anyway, and he's very shiny, like China. Is that one? Tom took an art. Here's another lie. Oh god, that one there. Berlin. Oh, sexy Brexit. I did that before. That one. Nope, not gonna do that. Nope, done that one already. Done that one. Oh. No, not that one. Bum 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 bum. Well, when you consider a lot of people, Tory MPs, you see, they had to read through the Brexit deal, the trade corporation deal. Unfortunately, they didn't have very long to do it, apparently. Ta-ta.
Agreement came when we were all very busy on Christmas Eve, in my case, organising the local nativity trail.
Oh. Well, it's time for me to go. So I'll say ta-ta, you know. Ta-ta. Come back. What camera am I on?